This is The Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686.
And Bobby Dooley, along with Steve Dooley, joins us from the Western Estates Homeowners Association. The Western Estates Republican Party Roundtable just broke up last night. And there's a position paper that I know that many of you have been talking about, Bobby.
That is correct, Phil, on the recent controversy surrounding cloning and what our Congress has decided in terms of legislation. We think that cloning can be controlled and used to help our country.
In what way?
Well, my husband believes that clones could work in the agricultural area. The Republican Party has been so adamant about restricting immigration. This is something that's so important to those of us in the party. And we think it could solve the immigration problem by utilizing clones to work in farm fields. Many lonely men and women who have been without relationship would not necessarily marry a clone, but could be in what my husband calls rapport with a clone.
What is being in rapport with a clone? And keep in mind, cloning of humans is against the law, but suppose we reach this point where we clone enough humans and they reach of age. What is rapport with a clone?
Living with a clone.
Sexual gratification.
Is that your husband?
Yeah, my husband, Steve.
Sexual gratification.
For sexual gratification.
All right, hold on. You're talking about, in my opinion, abusing human beings simply because they were cloned from cell and not from a fertilized ovum.
Mm-hmm.
These are human beings.
Well, here now is an interesting point. My husband doesn't believe that they're really fully human. My husband believes that clones do not have souls.
Well, how can you make that? How can you make that statement? Isn't all that we are in our DNA, and that is consistent from one human to the next?
No, because God put the soul in after the sex contact.
My husband believes right after sex contact, God exhales a soul into the
spermatozoa.
Well, not in the spermatozoa. That's what you have.
Then the sexualization.
When the egg is fertilized.
Okay, so God exhales or blows a soul into the fertilized egg.
It's Phil. It's kind of like glass blowing. You know, you blow and then you see the glass what's come to shape.
Glass is clear like a soul.
Yeah, it's clear like a soul.
So real humans are created by way of sex.
Yes, and the clone is made by way of cloning. Phil, did you see AI and how they had mechas and orgas?
Yeah, the mechas in AI, they were the robots.
And the orgas were the people.
And orgas were people.
I really see a society, and my husband agrees, of people made from sex, or what we would call sexoids, and people made from cloning, or what we would call the clonoids.
And the clonoids and sexoids.
That is correct.
And the sexoids are the ones that had a soul blown into them, and the clonoids?
Well, the clonoids did not have a soul blown into them because they weren't made out of the natural way. They were manufactured.
They don't have a soul, so we can do what we want.
So the clonoids are doing all the farm work, and they work at Jack-in-the-Box and places like that, and we don't have to have illegal immigrants coming in and doing that.
You see, Phil, we believe that God made us in His image. And the way God made us in His image, as Republicans, we believe that God had sex with Himself.
Well, God had sex with Himself. He had sex with Himself to make us how we are made. That's how we got made.
That's how we got made, by sex.
No, I understand how the human race is made, but the clone is obviously not made that way. And isn't this what you're proposing as a race of slaves? Aren't we hastening Huxley's Brave New World? And by the way, are either one of you theologically trained?
Mm-hmm.
You are, or you're not?
No, I don't know when you say Huxley.
Aldous Huxley wrote a book called Brave New World.
Well, with cloning, yes, you wouldn't have to feel bad about pushing a clonoid around because it's not fully human.
Have the soul blown.
Exactly, it didn't have its soul blown.
So what is the excuse for cruelty, a race of clonoids that we get to push around because we're sadistic?
No, a race of clonoids that we can have to do various jobs. No labor strife, no more I'm leaving at 5, because the job isn't done.
Well, my landscape business.
Yes, Steve.
My landscape, I got to pay 4 Mexicans $6 an hour to lay sod. I could have a clonoid do it for half the price. The clonoid ain't human, so he can't sue me for not paying a minimum wage.
So as Republicans, we have been searching and searching for an answer to the irrigation problem.
Okay, the irrigation.
What?
Immigration.
The immigration problem. I'm sorry, and we listen to Rush Limbaugh, and we're all concerned about alien life. And the Republican Party, and more specifically George Bush, who I think is a very badly treated president.
Very bad.
I think President Bush could have something his administration could hang its hat on. Clonoids doing farm work.
All right. Our number is 1-800-449-8686. Bobby and Steve Dooley, who have a position paper that the Western States Homeowners Association Republican Caucus came up with, that cloning could be an answer to immigration. And I understand that it's a very serious question in the, at least the Republican Party platform. You'd be interested to know, my wife will be going to San Antonio in September to the Republican Women's Convention down there.
You're a Democrat, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
That's interesting. How does that work in your home?
Well, you know, we get along fine. But the idea of coming up with a race of clones to do farm work, and you think it would be all right because they're not human?
No, because the sex.
They didn't have their soul. The soul didn't get inserted. God inserts a soul when the sex contact happens. For those of us who would be sexoids, we can go into restaurants and shop and vote. But if you are a clonoid,
If I'm a clonoid, I get done with my farm work, then where do I go?
Go to clonoid housing.
Special housing for clonoids. You know...
You never read Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, huh?
No, I don't know what that...
What's that?
It was a society that he foresaw, he prognosticated, if you will, in which there are varying levels of humanity, each one genetically engineered to a job. You had the very highest level of human, the alphas, the lowest level of human, the gammas, and the gammas were like elevator operators, and the alphas were like the scientists.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
But see, the clonoid don't have no soul blown into it.
Yeah, I understand that.
Did the gammas... Who?
Never mind. What you're saying is you're making a theological supposition here that only through sex is a real human being created, and a clone would not be a real human.
That is exactly right. My husband believes, Phil, that humans are created through the sex that God had with himself, and then we all had sex with each other. And
so God had sex with himself.
What do you laugh about?
Nothing. And that's how we were made, and then we all had sex with each other. Which obviously that's what we did.
That is correct, yeah.
I mean, like Adam and Eve, where they only had the two of them, they haven't figured that out.
No, they haven't figured out yet how Adam and Eve, I mean, if they just had two sons, how did we come about, you know? So that is...
I don't know about that mystery.
Okay, I can't comment on that. Adam and Eve had two sons. I mean, the Catholic Church, teaches that there were more than just two kids that Adam and Eve had.
Yeah, but that's the Catholic Church. That's not...
That's not Christian.
Oh, it's not Christian.
Well, not my religion.
Okay, 1-800-449-8686. Bobby and Steve Dooley. Republican Party could solve the immigration problem by working clones in the farm fields. This is all science fiction. You realize that, right?
No, I understand it would be very difficult, Phil, but we have to plan for the future. And at some time in the future, say 20 or 30 years from now, when the first clone is grown up, because if you clone them now, in 20 years, then you have the first grown-up clone.
The grown-up clone is what we're talking about. We're not talking about working a no-kid clone.
No, you can't work a kid clone.
Only the grown-up clone.
That's correct.
Got it. 1-800-449-8686. Are clones human? According to Bobby and Steve Dooley, no, they're not, because God didn't put a soul into them. He only put a soul into those of us who were made from sex. And the reason for that is God created the earth by having sex with himself. 1-800-449-8686. Is cloning an answer to the immigration problem and all the other problems? This is The Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show is back. 1-800-449-8686.
The question, Bobby and Steve, is what is a human being? You say we're only human because we were created by way of sex.
That is correct, Phil. And that has been the history of the world. And that is the way that God intended it. A clone would not be human because a clone was not... That's the only way you can get a soul. Steve, help me.
The only way you get a soul is when you've had the sex.
The only way that God will sail a soul in there is from sex.
Why wouldn't God put a soul into a clone?
Because he didn't clone himself. He had sex with himself.
Because that's just not the way... I can't explain it, Phil. It's really difficult for me to explain it to you.
Well, it's going to be a question you're going to have to answer if you're going to talk to people. How is it that a clone isn't a human, and then if a clone isn't a human, you work at like slave labor?
We pay it. I mean, the clone would get paid, but you wouldn't have to pay it as much because it's not technically human.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Here is Gary on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello. Gary?
Yes.
Go ahead, sir.
I was curious, and I had exactly the same question. If God was going to allow this clone to live, then how would he possibly not give it a soul?
Well, does a dog have a soul? Does a cat have a soul?
Yeah,
I believe they do.
The cat have a soul.
Do they go to dog heaven and cat heaven? No, I don't think so. If you know about God and the soul, you know that the only way you can get a soul is through sex.
I am familiar enough, though, with all the different religions to not be presumptuous enough to be able to say what God would or would not do.
Well,
in this case, if God is going to allow the life,
the clonoid,
I'm sure that if he was going to do that, he would also allow it the soul.
The clonoid would not have a soul because it didn't have its soul inserted into it.
How do you know that God would not insert the soul into the clone and yet allow it to live?
The only way the soul gets inserted is with the sperm into the egg.
And there is no insertion of the sperm into the egg with the clone. That's the way the soul gets in.
The soul starts out in the sperm.
I cannot...
The soul starts out in the sperm?
That's how it gets inserted in.
The Bible says that God made woman from the rib of man. So that means that the sperm has the soul, and it goes into the egg that's the woman part.
And then the man part and the woman part get mixed together.
And then the soul gets blown in.
You keep saying gets blown in. I don't understand that.
It's like it's just God goes, and in it goes.
Yeah, and that's how the soul gets made.
But
so why can't he do that at any given point? I mean, I would think that...
because he's not going to let us do it. We're going to say, okay, God, we're going to clone somebody, and he's going to go, no, I don't think so. That's not how I said it could be done.
He's not going to let us blow a soul in. We can't. You think you can blow a soul into something? No, I don't think so.
But he can do so.
Yeah, but...
He won't do that.
How do you know?
That?
How do you know he won't blow a soul into a clone?
The clonoid's not going to have no soul.
I couldn't be so presumptuous as to determine what God would or would not do.
1-800-449-8686. Yeah, what we're talking about here is the clonoid. I mean...
That is going to be the name of it when the Republican Party eventually gets this into the platform.
By the way, we want to get this in the 2004 platform.
What are you going to get into the 2004 platform? In the Republican Party platform?
Absolutely. We're not backing away. We will have this inserted in the platform.
We want the Republican Party platform to say that we are making preparations for the clonoid. Okay? Then the Democrats will see.
You guys go to the Republican Party with a plank about how to treat clonoids, and they'll throw you out of the Republican Party. They'll put you into the... have you called Art Bell with this idea?
You know something, Phil? It's really sad that when we come up with a viable solution to the problems of labor in this country, to the problems of a lot of the Mexican and illegal labor immigrant aliens, you laugh it off. Right now, they're coming over the border. We proposed...
Look, Phil, 5 years ago, about the 100,000. Tell them about the fence.
We proposed a fence, an electrified fence, with a 100,000 volts, so that when the immigrants hit it, and a lot of them will hit it running, it's like a bug zapper. And this will not be necessary.
Oh, I see. So you won't have to electrocute immigrant or aliens at the border, you'll be able to just have the clonoids. What makes you think that the immigrants are not going to still come over, even though we got clonoids?
Because they won't be hired. Because every farm worker will be a clonoid. At Jack in the Box, when you order up whatever it is you order, I like the ultimate cheeseburger. I know you like the pita pocket.
I like pita pocket.
You'll be talking to a clonoid. May I take your order? And they won't be angry, and they'll speak English. I think it's a wonderful opportunity. Otherwise, the 100,000-volt fence goes in. And I don't think anybody wants that.
100,000-volt fence, or we have clones working the fields.
That is correct.
We're talking with Bobby and Steve Dooley here about their idea that clones will solve the immigration problem, and you also mentioned the problem of sexual gratification so that we could be in rapport with a clone.
You're going to marry one.
No, you wouldn't marry a clone because clones aren't human. You could be in rapport with one. They would live with you. They could make breakfast or whatever. They would provide the sexual gratifications necessary to ensure the happiness of a human being, but they would not be human. So therefore,
you couldn't marry him. You're going to be rapport.
Yeah, rapport. Steve thought of that one.
I came up with that.
Good one, Steve.
Well, you know, your sarcasm, Phil.
No, that's fine. You want to be in rapport with a clonoid. 1-800-449-8686. Dave on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Hey, I just wanted to. Are these the people who said that God had sex with themselves a little while ago?
Yes, that's essentially the way the Earth was created.
What is your basis for saying that?
Well, think about it. If all life is created through some sort of sexual union, and we're made in the image of God, God was some kind of a unicell creature who.
Well, if you know anything about hermaphrodites or anything like that.
What are you talking?
Yeah.
Okay,
if your
wait a minute.
Bible,
Are you talking about?
Source is the Bible.
Yes, sir. The hermaphrodite.
God wasn't a hermaphrodite.
No, I'm just saying that there is precedent there.
The hermaphrodite.
I'll tell you who the If anyone needs to have sex with themselves, it's you guys.
What? I mean.
Well, which point?
My point is you have no basis to say God had sex with himself. God created man in his own image. He didn't have sex with himself.
Well, if God created man in his own image, that means that God had a penis or something.
Some kind of a sexual organ. We don't know. God's sex organ may look like a telephone. We don't know.
Okay, so let's
just... It's obvious you don't have a clue.
Let's
just
not only
do you not know, you don't have a clue what you're talking about.
What does it mean when he says he created us in his image? It must mean that he has some kind of sexual capability. Okay, and that means...
God is a supreme being who had the capacity to create man. He created animals. He created plant life.
Yes.
How did he create animals?
He created the animal by creating something not in his image.
Well, and how did he do that?
He had to think of something else. He created the animal. For instance, a cow. He created a cow in the image of the cow.
There must be like a cow in heaven or something. I don't know.
A cow in heaven? Okay, I guess there is no answer unless we have a theologist, or a theologian, I should say, calling in and giving us the answers to these questions. The idea
they're not theologians.
Well, but we are. We do. But we ought to
get one on the line.
We're members of the Republican Party, and we care about the immigration and sexualization of this country. The clonoid or the sexoid can coexist, Dave. And hello? He hung up.
Well, did he hang up?
Yeah, that's what that click means. He hung up.
All right.
Okay, 1-800-449-8686. So God created us in his image. That means he must have had sex with himself. How did he make a cow? Well, there must have been some kind of a cow in heaven that he created the cow from the cow god. All right, we're talking about cloning, and can you use clones to work in the farm fields? 1-800-449-8686. Bobby and Steve say clones are not humans. We'll be back. Phil Hendry Show.
Phil Hendry, 1-800-449-8686.
So Bobby and Steve Dooley with me from the Western States Republican Caucus. The Republican caucus up there believes that clones can solve the immigration problem. Do you send clones to school?
Well, I think there's a clonoid academy you can send them to. Clonoids would be great for people who are allergic to dogs, because a clonoid could get your slippers, could fetch the paper, guard the house while you're on vacation. And obviously a clonoid is not going to...
It's not going to take a crap.
In the house.
A clonoid would use the toilet.
Yeah.
You know, Phil, I know you're laughing at us, and I know that...
Oh, of course I'm laughing at you. A clonoid could fetch the paper, work in the fields, work a jack-in-the-box.
But, Phil, this is a golden opportunity. They don't have souls.
Yeah, because they weren't blown into them when the sperm came into the egg.
That's what in the Bible.
Don't say nothing in the Bible about that. God had sex with himself. Don, hi, you're on the Phil Hendry Show. Go ahead.
Yes, hi. I'd like to make a comment about what you're saying. I am a prison minister, and I study the Bible. And what you're saying, God never had sex with himself. It's never said that in the Bible. I study and I read the King James Version. And in the book of Genesis, God said he created man within his image.
That's right. And
wait a second now. Wait a second.
We keep going around in a circle. If he created him in his image,
but you keep saying that.
Then God had a
but God never had sex with himself. God took Adam.
Why could he have sex with himself?
God took Adam, and God had took dirt from the earth and made Adam.
What do you think about clonoids?
Well, I think about that as I think it's wrong. Because clones do have souls. They will be the image of that person. They will. No, wait a second, ma'am.
Doesn't the clonoid not have a soul because it wasn't blown in with the sperm?
It will have a soul because when God created the human race, He created them to have a soul. It's just like with the animals. The animals also have a soul, but they have a different type of soul
Animals can't
from
clone
the
each other.
human race. No, but their soul is not the same as the human soul.
Well, what if a cat could clone itself?
No, a cat can't.
If a cat could clone itself...
What are you guys talking about? A cat cloning itself?
A cat can't clone itself.
If a cat developed the scientific ability to clone itself, would it have a soul? And this is what we are trying to talk about in our Republican Party caucus.
That clone will have his own mind, his own way of thinking, his own way of doing things.
So you say a cat could think?
Huh?
The cat could think?
Well, a cat thinks from...
Right.
Instant.
And
they use instant. Every animal lives off animal
instinct. This is a hypothesis, Don, but if the cats set up laboratories where they could clone themselves...
A cat cannot clone itself.
Why not? What if it set up some kind of a laboratory?
A cat cannot do that. I mean...
What makes you think a cat's gonna...
How can a cat clone itself?
I'm just saying, if a cat
How can an animal which God created clone itself?
Evolution. If a cat evolved to the point where it could set up a laboratory...
There was no such thing as evolution.
Well, what if cats learn...
Evolution does not happen by chance.
Cats aren't going to clone themselves. Why would they clone themselves?
Well, why are human beings cloning themselves? For the same reason. They want to perfect... they want a good-looking cat.
What you saying is making no sense because it has nothing to do with...
You guys are talking about God having sex with himself.
I never say God has sex.
No, not you, Don.
Okay.
Didn't you say that, Don, that God had sex with himself?
No, I said God did not have sex. God said...
Well, who did he have sex with?
God said, I am the great I am. God said, I am the Alpha and the Omega. God said, I am the beginning and the end. God said, God says, no man know where I have came from, for I am a great mystery.
Say that again.
So he never had sex with himself because God don't have to have sex with himself. He is a spirit. He is a powerful spirit. So he don't have to have sex with himself. He never had sex with himself.
So God's like a ghost or something?
God is gay. I don't know. God's
like a ghost.
He is a spirit.
Okay, but what has all of this got to do with what you guys are saying when the soul comes in?
See, that's the thing I want to say. The soul goes into the body right when the sperm gets, permission to go down to the egg area.
When the sperm gets permission to go to the egg area.
That's correct. That's where the soul goes in. Now, if you clone, there's no way in.
It's locked. The door's locked. You see what I'm saying, Don? so the soul can't get in because there's no one there after hours to unlock it.
What in the hell?
What is you talking about?
What? What is all I'm saying is...
Oh, you're not talking about crap. You're talking about bull crap here. You're talking about, and this 100,000-volt fence that you want to put up at the border to Mexico to keep the immigrants out sounds like torture to me.
Well, it's either that or we get clonoids to start working at McDonald's, because I don't know what else we can do.
Soul follows the sperm in, and the clones aren't spermed. Only sexoids are spermed.
That's it. That's why this clone can't have a soul, because they don't have sperm.
Bull crap. I'll bet you they do. Okay?
A clone will have a soul because you created
This conversation is idiotic. No, don't even bother. Don, don't waste your time.
Yeah,
these two people are...
We are trying to help our country, and the two of you are shooting us down. And let me tell you something. When it comes time to have rapport with a clonoid, you'll be at the bottom of the list.
I got one question, sir, before I go. What Bible is y'all reading this from? Because I done read the King James Version. I done read the NIV through and through.
Bob,
so you tell me, what Bible have you read this in?
Bob Melman.
Bob Melman.
No, that's who I got. Who, the Bible?
Yes.
Yeah. That's the King James.
The
King
Bob
James
Melman?
Bob Melman Bible. All right, 1-800-449-8686. Don't take any more calls. These people have lost their minds. Don't forget, clones aren't spermed, so they can't have the soul. It's locked. There's no way in. It's the Phil Hendrie Show.
One 1-800-449-8686. And now more on The Phil Hendrie Show.
Okay, so let me get this straight. The clonoids would rule the earth. No, I don't know.
This is the Phil Hendrie Show. 1-800-449-8686.
If you could, Mr. Wheeler, Dean Wheeler's an attorney representing some 200 Hispanic families in a potential, now you say this is a potential class action lawsuit against the Disney properties, correct? Or
Phil, that is absolutely correct. We have not decided yet whether we're going to act, but I think it's important to know that we do believe that there is some fraud going on. We also think that these families have been subjected to a level of humiliation.
All right, now, there is a Hector Julia.
Julia is Hector's wife, Hector and Julia Vasquez, and the families of Miguel and Margarita Salazar. Were at the Disney properties at various times throughout 2001.
As were other families.
As were other Hispanic, Spanish-speaking families. It's important to understand that these are all Spanish-speaking people, because this is the genesis of the action that we are considering bringing against the Disney properties. The Haunted Mansion rides, the Pirates of the Caribbean, these are all amusements at the different Disney properties. The Jungle Cruise, and all of these rides as well, are in English. They are narrated in English. I don't know if you're familiar, Phil, with the different amusements that I'm talking about.
Well, I'm familiar with all of them. I've been to Disneyland, and when you say the narration, like in the Haunted Mansion, when you get in and they talk about foolish mortals,
all of the narration, yeah, that creates the environment on the rides is in English. The pain and suffering and extreme embarrassment for Hispanic families has been going on for too long. A ride that is supposed to scare you, a ride that is supposed to have a certain effect doesn't have that effect if you don't understand what's being said. These Hispanic families and others have gotten off the Haunted Mansion ride and have been laughing or enjoying themselves when in point of fact you're supposed to be scared, and have been then ridiculed or looked at as if they're mentally retarded by other English-speaking patrons. This is an embarrassment that has caused these people, we think, suffering in a monetary sense.
All right, so you are representing are these illegal immigrants?
My understanding is they're not here legally. That's correct.
All right, so they're illegal immigrants in a potential lawsuit against the Disney amusement parks because they don't speak English, and these people can't understand when they go into the Haunted Mansion or the Jungle Ride?
Well, the Jungle Ride is a very good example. That is a ride where you get on a boat and you are taken on a simulated ride through different jungles of the world. Now, the person who is guiding the tour speaks English. And the same goes for when you go into the Tiki Bird room. That is all in English. When you go on Pirates of the Caribbean, it's all in English. When you go on the Star Tours ride, it's all in English. And these Hispanic families walk out of these rides absolutely bewildered. They are completely confused. They don't know what it is they've just seen. They haven't enjoyed the ride to its full potentiality, while the English-speaking patrons, who are generally Caucasian or Negro, have had a great time. But my Hispanic families walk off of Star Tours completely bewildered. They don't know whether they were on the Pirates of the Caribbean. They don't know what they're looking at.
Well, surely they know that if they're on the Star Tours ride, that it wasn't Pirates of the Caribbean.
Well, they don't know because nothing's in English. And the little robot at the beginning of the ride goes, "Hi, I'm R2-D2, and we're going to take you on the ride."
Yeah, then they tell you what's about to happen.
Right, all of that wonderful narration Spanish-speaking people don't get. This has caused them complete and utter humiliation. They're completely stunned. When they walk out of Disneyland, they haven't had as good a time as English-speaking people. They feel as if they've been ripped off. They feel as if they've had half of an experience, not a whole experience. We would like Disney to, one, either compensate monetarily, or what we think the better solution, Phil, is to set aside 2 Spanish-speaking only days.
Well, now you're going to ask Disneyland and Disney World to have only Spanish-speaking rides 2 days of the week.
Well, these people wouldn't know it. Look, if you've got a Disney character walking up to you and saying, "Welcome," they don't know what the thing's saying. They don't know if it's saying welcome. It could be saying you can go straight to hell. And
oh, come on, Mr. Wheeler.
Well, I'm sure, Mr. Henry, if you're not an English-speaking person, you can imagine going to a Spanish-speaking. Do you speak Spanish?
No, I don't.
Well, you can well imagine the confusion not speaking the language. And if one of the characters comes up to you, one of the dwarfs or something, and says, he might as well just be saying, they don't understand it. And
well, they don't think they're going to Disneyland and having one of the dwarfs walk up and say, "Go to hell," do they?
They are immigrants to this country, not familiar with our culture, and all we're saying is Disneyland and Disney World owe it to these people to have 2 days a week where there is Spanish spoken on all the rides so they can enjoy the experience and not be humiliated and look like they're retarded in front of all the English-speaking people who get to have all the fun, and nobody who speaks Spanish gets to have any fun.
All right, Dean, hold on for just a moment. I want to give our phone number out and maybe get some reaction from our listeners. 1-800-449-8686.
And Phil, keep in mind, this has been going on since Disneyland opened in 1955 and Disney World opened in 1971.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. I'm talking with Dean Wheeler, an attorney representing a group of Hispanic families who want Spanish spoken at Disneyland and Disney World on the rides.
On the rides, in the different concessions. Phil, understand again that we're only asking for 2 days a week.
Which days?
We're looking for Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, you're asking for the 2 busiest days of the week.
That is correct.
To be Spanish-only days, and Spanish-only in the rides, Spanish-only throughout the entire Disney World and Disneyland parks, the 2 busiest days of the week. Why those days?
Well, Mr. Henry, you may not understand, or I'm sure you do understand, I'm being facetious, but these people work too. They wash your windows, they wash your car, they pick a lettuce in your fields, they take care of your children, they iron your clothes, and then they get time off too. The rest of the Caucasian and the other families, you can take any day off that you want during the week. Most of you people, white people and Caucasian and et cetera, own their own businesses. So they can take any day off that they like.
Well, I can assure you, Mr. Wheeler, for speaking for myself, I can't take any day off but Saturday and Sunday. I have a radio show.
No, but for the most part, I understand your job. But for the most part, whites and affluent African Americans can take off any day. But the Mexicans that are here illegally are working as housekeepers, and they're scrubbing toilets. They only get Saturday and Sunday off. So those 2 days, we would like Disneyland and...
well, sir, I don't think you're going to get it.
That's okay. We'll get it. The Disneyland and Disney World will set aside those 2 days for Spanish-speaking only.
Well, I don't think they're going to agree to it.
No, believe me, they'll agree. Mr. Henry, I can tell you this. I'm a very, very good lawyer. Now, what we're asking, we don't want to have to take this to court. We're asking Disneyland and Disney World now to do it. Turn those 2 days into Spanish-speaking only days. Just go ahead. My number, I'd love to leave it so Disney can contact me and let me know when they've effected that.
Do you believe that Disneyland and Disney World are going to do this even without a lawsuit?
Believe me, I'm a very, very good lawyer. So they'll do it, and like I say, I can leave my number. They can call me when they get it done.
So they're going to, out of fear of being...
They don't want to tangle with me. They don't want to even deal with me.
1-800-449-8686. Here's Yvette on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. You're on with Dean Wheeler?
Yeah, I'm a Spanish-speaking person, and I think that Mr. Wheeler is out of his mind. I completely disagree with him. I think it's absurd that he suggests that Disney should have Spanish-speaking people at Disney to help these people who are going to an American theme park.
Well, Yvette, you speak English, and we do have bilingual precedent in this country in schools.
You know what? I don't care. I speak Spanish, and you know what? I had to learn to speak English, if I wanted to live in this country. And if I want to live and love and learn about the American culture, then I have to learn, about the American culture, and I have to learn to speak their language.
How does a Mexican, whether they're here legally or not, enjoy Disneyland and not look like they're mentally retarded?
You know what? Then they need to learn the language, because I had to learn the language.
Well, but you can't have fun. So that, in other words, Yvette, what you're saying is they have to be here for 5 or 6 years before they even get to go on the...
Oh, please! It doesn't take them 5 to 6 years to learn the language. It doesn't take them 5 to 6 years.
English is a very difficult language.
If you're going to live in this country, you need to learn to speak the language. And we're not going to adjust to every single immigrant that comes into this country, whether they're Chinese, Spanish, Russian...
Phil, I think Yvette's attitude is typical of a lot of landed Hispanic gentry.
I'm Hispanic.
You're very typical.
I am a Hispanic person.
Well, you went to Berlitz and you got the cram course in English or whatever you did. I'm talking about people that are right out of the fields. They don't.
Well, I don't care if they're out of their fields. They're in this country, and if they want to enjoy the American culture, then they need to learn the language. How can you suggest? Then you know what? Then you should suggest that Disney also offer French, Creole. And every other language.
Oh, so the Mexicans go to the Haunted Mansion and walk out of there looking like retards because they didn't get
That's their problem. Then don't go, because how can they expect to go to these things and expect them to be in their language? They're in America.
But America...
Well, the lady's point is that this is America. At what point do we insist that people...
Phil, we have bilingual handbooks for driving. We have bilingual signs. Go down to East L.A., and there's Marlboro... billboards in Spanish. There's Budweiser beer billboards in Spanish. And one of the birthrights of every Mexican is when they come to America, they get to go to Disneyland and see all of that.
Let me tell you something. When I go down to Miami, nothing upsets me more than to walk into a Walgreens, and I have done this, okay? And I walk into a Walgreens, and all I see is Spanish signs telling me where to find what I'm looking for. And I'm like, excuse me, I'm in America. Why aren't the signs? I get my receipt when I pay for something, and it's in Spanish.
Right now, the only way a Honduran immigrant is going to enjoy Disneyland is when they go into It's a Small World and that one little Spanish part, and then all of the rest is in...
It's American.
They're wrong.
The Seven Dwarfs are American. It's all American. You know what? I'm sorry. They need to learn to speak the language.
I think it's dangerous, Mr. Henry, and with respect to your listener, I think it's dangerous for a Hispanic family to walk onto Main Street, USA, Disneyland, and have one of the Seven Dwarfs walk up, and they think that they're telling them to go straight to hell.
Oh, give me a break. Like the Seven Dwarfs are going to go up and say, you go to hell.
Why would any anybody, whether they speak French, Spanish, think that one of the dwarfs would walk up as soon as you hit the gate and tell you to go to hell.
These are scared people. They are illegal immigrants. They're here. They don't know who's immigration, who isn't. They don't know who to trust. And we are asking, let's show some trust. Let's show them we trust them and love them. And
wait.
That he's just trying to make a fast buck.
That's the thing that I'm worried about here, okay?
That's exactly what
you're taking the money of these people, and you really got them believing that Disney World and Disneyland are going to shut down 2 days of the week and make it Spanish only because an immigrant is afraid that one of the 7 dwarfs is going to tell them to go to hell.
All right, but one of my clients thought, I have a client, and I can come, Margarita Salazar, who believed that one of the characters, the goofy character, was soliciting her for sex.
Oh,
come on. Well, then that's where you got to educate the poor woman.
How pathetic.
They think Peter Pan is an immigration officer because he wears the green badge, the green tights of the immigration people.
You know what? I'm sorry.
No,
if you come
these
to
are
this
simple
country,
people.
then it's your responsibility to learn about the culture and the history.
Okay. Yvette, I got to take a break. I thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Peter Pan is Peter Pan. I realize that immigration does wear a green uniform.
You've got a lot of very simple people, Phil. These are simple country people from the countryside of Mexico. They've never been in the big city before. They want to enjoy America. They go to Disneyland, and they are scared half to death by Peter Pan walking up to them because they think it's an immigration officer. All we're asking for is English at Disney World and Disneyland so that my clients don't look like retards or are wetting their pants in fear every time they see a Pluto character. It's ridiculous.
Well, some people would say, sir, that your lawsuit or threatened lawsuit is a little bit ridiculous. 1-800-449-8686. Dean Wheeler, representing a group of 200 Hispanic families, they've threatened a lawsuit against Disneyland and Disney World if they don't provide at least 2 days of Spanish-only narration on the rides. Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, all in Spanish, and that the characters speak Spanish so that these people are not frightened by Chip and Dale telling them to rot in hell or something. That's what they're afraid of. 1-800-449-8686. This is the Phil Hendrie Show.
Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686.
With me is Dean Wheeler, who's an attorney. He represents some Hispanic families. They want Disney World, Disneyland, all the Disney properties to have Spanish-only days because your clients came to you and said they were embarrassed going on the Haunted Mansion ride and not being scared because they didn't understand anything that was going on, correct?
Well, Phil, what happened essentially was Margarita Salazar and her husband Miguel went on the Haunted Mansion ride, and there was a narration having to do with you're foolish mortals.
Yeah, a lot of us who've been on the ride, we know that foolish mortals, welcome to the Haunted Mansion.
Right, and it's very scary, and people, my understanding is they get very frightened, and these Mexicans walked out of there laughing and slapping their thighs and doing all the things that one would do, and all of the English speakers turned around and looked at them. And Margarita says she remembers the day they looked at her as if she was mentally retarded. Now, if welfare applications are available in Spanish, the Mickey Mouse, Disneyland, Disney World, Donald Duck, they all ought to be Spanish. But why? Why isn't it? We don't know.
All right, well, you're going to sue to find out.
We're going to sue to find out. I'm a very good lawyer. I don't think Disney wants to tangle with me.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Randy, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendrie Show.
Yes, hi, Mr. Wheeler. My name's Randy.
Hi.
I actually have 2 points for you. My first point is that I am of German descent, and my family speaks German. Is my family, when they come over from Germany, going to want a Monday just for German-speaking people?
No, that wouldn't be allowed, no.
That wouldn't be allowed, no. Because, why not?
Because they don't need it.
Oh, I see.
Well,
so only people who speak Spanish.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay.
You said your family, your parents are from Germany?
No, my grandparents are from Germany, but I have family that is currently there.
Do they need German in Disney World? How often do your grandparents get to Disney World?
How often does my family from Germany come to Disney World?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not really sure. I don't speak with them very often, but my point is...
That's a waste of our time. Everybody knows...
Really?
First of all, everyone knows that in Europe most people speak American anyway, so it doesn't...
Okay, well...
I don't know. Have you been to Europe?
No, not currently, no.
All right, well, most people...
That's kind of irrelevant to your case.
No, ma'am. No, it's not. Most people in Europe talk American.
Oh, okay. And my second point is that I used to live in L.A., and I'm curious to know is why you're spending so much time, money, and energy on trying to help people who speak Spanish to get into Disneyland when you should be spending your time and money on helping the thousands of Mexican Americans who do not speak English in Southern California who are at poverty level.
Well, that's what I'm doing right now. This is the first step.
So you're helping Mexican Americans who speak Spanish who want to go to Disney World, or Mexicans or whoever speaks Spanish.
Well, no, the ones
who
I'm helping are
no, wait, let me make a point. You're really poor at listening.
Well, no, but Randy, I can tell you're being very sarcastic with me, too.
No, well, I am, but I'm trying to make my point, but you keep interrupting me.
Yeah, let the lady finish, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, fine, go ahead.
My point is that,
I'm an attorney, and I don't think Disney wants to tangle with me.
Randy, go ahead, make your point.
Thank you. Thank you. My point being is that I don't think that the little 5-year-old boy who would beg me for food in Spanish was begging for Mickey Mouse to be like, hola, hola, senor.
Well, how do you know?
Do you speak Spanish? Do
you speak Spanish?
I'm sorry?
Do you speak Spanish?
Enough to
well, then you don't know what he might have been saying, I want tickets for Disneyland. The Haunted Mansion ride is a very scary ride, and if you come off that ride laughing, you look like a fool and an ass. And it's very bad for race relations. And you want... So, in other words, you like Mexicans, I take it, Randy, right?
I'm sorry?
You like Mexicans?
Do I like Mexicans?
Yeah.
I'm a lover of people, so yes, I like Mexicans.
And you want them to walk into Disneyland and think that one of the characters employed by Disney, whether it's the Goofy or the Mickey Mouse or the different ones they have, walks up to them and tells them how much for oral sex. This is what we're trying to avoid.
You are a ridiculous human being.
I beg your pardon?
You are a ridiculous human being. You really are. You need to be spending your time and energy on helping people who do not have food, not on people who can spend $50 for adult tickets to get into Disneyland.
These people cannot afford food. These people are starving.
But yet they're going to Disneyland? I know that if I couldn't afford food, I wouldn't be taking vacations, mister.
Randy, there is food at Disney. I don't know what you're talking about. There is hot dogs. Geppetto's hot dog stand is there. I don't know what she's trying to...
People that are starving are not going to spend their... 1-800-449-8686. Dean Wheeler wants to sue Disney. He wants 2 all-Spanish days at Disneyland and Disney World so the people don't look stupid coming off the Haunted Mansion ride, not understanding. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show.
One 800-449-8686. The Phil Hendrie Show is back.
I'm with Dean Wheeler. He's an attorney representing some Hispanic families. These are illegal immigrant families, I want to point out, Mr. Wheeler.
No less entitled to the protection of the law, Mr. Hendrie.
I understand that, but they're still illegal Mexican families who want to sue Disney to make them have Spanish-speaking only days. Now, there's a piece of music you wanted us to play.
Yes, this is from the soundtrack to the Walt Disney motion picture Aladdin. I want you to listen very carefully to the words.
All right, we have it. We'll play it from our studio.
Thank you.
Here it is. I don't know if... Can you hear that?
I can hear it, yes, sir.
All right.
I can show you the world.
All right. You're listening to a song being sung in English. And this song in particular, because when they go into the chorus of A Whole New World in Spanish, it sounds as if the listener is being told to go to hell.
You're kidding, right?
No, again, Mr. Hendrie, you're dealing with very simple people. These are country people. They don't know English, but they hear words that blend together to sound like it. Go to hell, right there.
Why would anybody in their right mind...
We are dealing with simple Mexican people.
Well, you're saying that they...
Where to go?
Mr. Hendrie, the racism that is involved in a denial on the part of anybody that these people are entitled to bilingual interpretations on Pirates of the Caribbean and Star Tours, I think is very obvious. Now, if I have clients who tell me that song sounds like they're being told to go to hell, as innocent as they be, listen to this. That sounds like a sexual come-on. She sounds like she's having sex with him. And
who told you this?
That every Mexican family I've spoken to...
They all tell you to a person that A Whole New World from Aladdin sounds like a woman's being propositioned.
That sounds like 2 people having sex. You listen to the... like she's screaming.
Mr. Wheeler, you sound, as the last lady said, a little ridiculous. I hope...
I'm an attorney, Mr. Henry, and I seek to find the protection of the law for all who seek it, not just anybody, not just Americans, but anyone, including people from Mexico.
I hope that you are not taking advantage of these poor people. Here is...
Oh, don't give me that, okay? Don't go down that road. What are you all of a sudden, Mr. Bleeding Heart? Or is that what you are? I work with these people every single day. I don't have some talk show that I get to go on and go to hell. That's all they're hearing.
You know, for you to bring up my profession...
Just remember what I said.
Regina, hi, you're on the Phil Hendry Show. Go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead.
I just have to say that he sounds like a blithering idiot. I just can't believe that he is saying this about these people. I'm sorry. Number one, they're in this country illegally.
Yes, that's
illegally.
True. That's true.
They are not entitled to anything. They're illegal immigrants, and I don't understand why he is not making attempts to get them back across the border.
What does that got to do with anything?
No, they have no right to be here.
These people go to Disney World, and they think they're being told to spread their legs.
Number one, if they're illegal immigrants, it's not a politically correct term.
Well, it's not a race either, man.
I'm a medical professional, and if I were to call someone a retard in any way, shape, form, or fashion, or any language, I would lose my job.
Regina,
that is politically incorrect.
My clients come off the Haunted Mansion ride laughing and looking like drooling. Okay, I won't. What do you want me to say? They're laughing, and people look at them and go, check this out.
If you wanted to be politically correct, you'd say they look challenged, they look confused, they look dazed, they don't look like retards.
All right,
people don't even call children in school know better than to call people a retard.
Well, I'd like to point something out. Retard is not a race, so it's not racist. If I said they look like brown,
it may not be racist, but it's very ugly. And if I were to call you that, you would certainly be offended. And you should be offended. You're offending people's ears with what you're saying.
Ma'am, I am dealing with families. I'm trying to protect families.
You're not protecting anyone. You're making a big bundle of money for your pocket. You are not representing anybody in an honest fashion. It's ridiculous. And you sound like a blithering idiot. You sound like a quote-unquote retard for saying this. You need to get them back across the border where they came from. They have no right.
Let the record
show
they
have no entitlement to anything in any language.
Well, she was quoting you.
She just called me a retard. No,
I'm quoting you. Retarded. Come on.
Regina, these Mexicans are traumatized by Donald Duck
quacking These people, that's what you're saying. You sound just as ignorant as anybody else.
Let me ask you something. Do you think it's right for a Disney character to walk up to these Mexicans? Donald Duck quacked out, and they have a character that quacks, and I'm not familiar.
Donald Duck.
All right. And one of the Mexicans thought that he quacked out.
Familiar with Donald Duck. They don't live here. They don't speak our language, and if they have a problem with it, they need to go back.
I would ask this question. I would ask this question: if these people believe that Donald Duck quacked out how much for your mother, as you just said, they said.
That's what I was told.
Then why would they even want to go back?
You spoon-fed them all of this crap.
There you go.
You know what you're going to do? You're going to get You're going to get a pocket full of money for it, and you should not be able to sleep at night.
You're telling these people, I'll bet you they're saying to you, we don't understand. You're saying, maybe it sounded like how much for your mother, and they're going, yeah, that's it.
You know, why would they be so confused as to that if everybody else comes out of the ride unoffended? You know, when you're in Rome, you do as the Romans do. I don't think they were that confused.
They come off the ride because they speak English, and they heard the guy say foolish mortals and all that stuff.
If that's the case, they wouldn't have been able to read the sign to get into Disney. If they're that dazed and confused,
come on. They know what Mickey Mouse is.
Babies don't run from Donald Duck. Why would a grown person, whether they spoke the language or not?
Because they don't speak English. And the fact is, babies do run from those characters. They're very frightened by them. Now,
babies, you know, the baby has an excuse, too.
All right. Regina, thank you.
People should run from you. You could not represent me anywhere. That's ridiculous. And I hope you can't sleep at night.
If you go to an amusement park where they don't speak English and some character that they have walks up to you and says, how much money for you know what? What are you going to say?
I just came back from Disney. And if in any way, shape, form, or fashion I could have improved, there's no way I could even derive from anything that one of the dwarves, Sleepy, Dopey, whoever came up to me and propositioned me. I mean, that's like something that someone on a drug would think. Yeah,
you say it's completely impossible.
That Sleepy or Grumpy
the Sleepy came up to me and said, hey, how much for your mother? Come on. You know what? God bless you and keep you and rest your
Regina,
soul,
I'm
because
talking
you are
about
just
protecting families. And
you're crazy.
You can sit down there and be wealthy and be rich and go to your big house.
I'm not sitting here wealthy and rich, but I know one thing. I'm in this country legally. I didn't ask to come here, but I'm here, and I'm here legally.
That's well said,
and I
Regina.
enjoy the fruits of my labor, and if you know what? If they want to enjoy the fruits of their labor, they need to be in this country legally.
You know, Regina, you ought to be an attorney because you don't shut up either.
Maybe she is
I would make a good attorney, and I don't appreciate you trying to tell me to shut up.
Well, why don't you just put a sock in the hole under your nose and listen to some sense that I'm trying to make, which is
the hole under her nose?
Ma'am, I hope you have fun being retarded in Japanese Disneyland then, because if you go to what's the one they got over there, Jap Disneyland? And
it's not called Jap Disneyland. It's called
Disneyland.
Tokyo.
How politically correct? Who gave you? How in the hell did you pass the bar? Who in the hell gave you a license to do anything? You know what? You should be taking tickets at Disney. You should be taking tickets at Disney, and you should have a sock in your mouth and just take the tickets and be quiet and usher the people in, because you're crazy.
I would ask you to try to understand how strange is it for a man with a large plastic head to come up to you and ask how much your mother is. And when you go over to, what is it called again?
Tokyo
Disney.
Disney.
The great thing about that is, if someone thinks, obviously, I'm sorry, to the host.
Yes, ma'am. I got to tell you something. I've talked to a lot of I've talked to a lot of attorneys, a lot of guys that advocate on the part of many people. I've never talked to a lawyer who believes Disney should have Spanish-speaking days.
Well, you're talking to one now.
Well, let me finish. Should have Spanish-speaking days.
Interject. Does he speak Spanish?
If you go to Tokyo Disney and a Tokyo Japanese, like a Mickey Mouse that speaks Japanese, comes up to you and goes, how do you know he's not saying nice ass? You don't, do you?
You don't. You certainly don't, and I guess I wouldn't be there if I didn't understand it. But, sir, does he speak Spanish? I wanted to clarify that for the rest of the listening world.
No, I do not.
Then how are you understanding what these families are saying?
I have an interpreter. I have interpreters working for me. Oh, is she laughing? All right, next time a man with a big plastic head walks up to you and asks how much...
I'm going mad to being totally amused.
All right, thank you, Regina, for your call.
Phil, the next time a man with a big plastic head walks up to you and says, how much for your mama?
Oh, well, then I'll call you, okay?
I hope you've got my number.
I got your number right here, sir. The next time one of the dwarfs walks up to me and asks me how much my mother is, you'll get a call from me.
And it may happen sooner. Forget it. This is why I can't get my legal practice off the ground, and it just makes me feel bad.
Well, then start taking on some real cases, man. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show is back. 1-800-449-8686.
Dean, go ahead, make your point. I'm with Dean Wheeler, filing a class action lawsuit on behalf of 200 Hispanic families who claim that they've been to Disneyland. They can't understand anything that's said. They can't understand the rides, the narration. Some of them have actually said, Dean, that they think the characters have propositioned them.
Well, I'm not saying that the characters have. I'm saying that because they don't speak English, they don't understand what the characters are saying. And for so many of these people who have come over the border from... and Phil, I have a call coming in.
Well, I'm doing an interview with you right now.
I understand that, sir. But...
Go ahead. Take the call. We're talking with Dean Wheeler, 1-800-449-8686. We're talking to him about the... you there, Dean?
Phil, this is... that was one of my clients.
That was one of the people you're representing?
Yes, and she claims she had been at a amusement park where a Pluto-like character had spoken some English to her, and she said it sounded like he had asked her how much if she'd pee on him. Now, Phil...
Oh, come on.
Phil, I consider this extremely serious. And
she was at an amusement... It wasn't Disney?
She didn't say where it was. There's other amusement parks that have this problem then.
So some character came up to her and asked how much if she'd pee on him?
That's exactly right. I think this is very serious. I'll tell you right now, I'm a damn good attorney. They don't want to mess with me.
1-800-449-8686. Connie, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Hello?
Connie, go ahead, yeah.
Mr. Wheeler, please don't spend any more time convincing us what a competent, damn good attorney you are, because you're a fruitcake and you're insulting the Spanish-American people. No wonder you can't get your practice off the ground.
Are you a lawyer?
No, I'm not. But you must have used the word retard 50 times, and my vocabulary is much better than that.
You see how many calls I'm getting?
You're insulting the Spanish Mexican people as well as all Spanish people.
The Spanish Mexican people?
The Mexican Spanish-speaking people.
So you don't even know how to talk good.
Mr. Wheeler, have you ever been to Tokyo, Disneyland as you called it?
No, ma'am, I have not.
I have, and I spent a wonderful 8-hour day.
I apologize for misspeaking.
You certainly should.
You called it Jap Disneyland.
You certainly did, and it's Disneyland Tokyo. And my family spent a wonderful day there, and part of it is in English, part of it is in Japanese.
See? Yeah, but not at Disneyland in America. They won't speak Spanish. Now, why do they speak English at the Tokyo Japanese?
Because the ride, it's a small world after all. The songs are done in English.
Right.
The Japanese people enjoyed it immensely.
Well, what
Those
about
children and the adults? The rest of it was done. This is in Japan. Why don't you spend your time trying to get Disneyland to build a
Could I ask you to hold on for a minute, please?
No.
Take your phone call, Janice, or Connie, I'll talk to you. You were in Tokyo?
Yes, I was. My son was in the Air Force, and we spent a wonderful day at Disneyland Tokyo.
But when you say that's in English, I think the point he's making is, okay, if there's stuff in English there, why isn't there stuff in Spanish?
The only one that was in English was it's a small world after all.
Well, I think that's what Mr. Wheeler indicated, that they do speak Spanish, and it's a small... Mr. Wheeler, you back?
Mr. Henry, I just got another call from a client of mine. All right? Do you think that Pluto ought to be saying things like sit and bark for me?
Oh, please.
Do you think that I'm asking Mr. Henry.
No, and I don't believe that's what he said.
I don't either, but that's what my Spanish-speaking people believe happened.
I rode this safari ride, and it was all in Japanese. I did the Haunted Mansion, and it was all in Japanese. And we did not come off that line, those rides, looking like idiots. We could understand everything.
How do you know?
Because you can understand it.
No, but how do you know you didn't look like an idiot? How do you know when you came off those rides that you yourself said were in Japanese, you didn't look like a complete ass when you got off those rides?
Because you could understand it, Mr. Wheeler.
How do you
Spanish
understand?
Speaking people can understand a ride
Mr.
in
Wheeler,
the United States.
When a ghost, and let's just talk about fictitious characters if we could. When a ghost goes boo, you understand that is in English. What is it in Japanese?
Boo, I suppose.
No, it is not.
What is it in Spanish?
No,
Boo.
No, it is not. In Japanese, it is. I don't know what it is in Japanese. In Spanish, I am told. Well, you can laugh if you want. One person has told me that Tigger wanted to bend them over Winnie the Pooh.
Mr. Wheeler, I think maybe Tigger, you should go to Disneyland. I'm sure Tigger would love to do that to you.
You think I'm going to let Tigger bend me over?
I think that you need to work more on your practice and getting it off the ground with some sensible cases.
Well, I can tell you this much.
Get a life.
No, I want to know what boo is in Spanish.
It is a men.
Her men?
Her men.
So ghosts in Mexico don't go boo, they go her men.
Yes, sir.
Well, I can tell you in Japan they go boo. And the Japanese people understood that.
I don't think that that's correct.
Well, the Japanese
what's boo in Japanese?
Boo.
I'm sorry?
Pardon me?
All right, listen, thank you, Connie.
What'd you say?
Thank you.
You called me what? You called me an ass, didn't you?
Me?
Yes.
No, I didn't, but it's a good idea.
It sounded like a...
All right, thank you. 1-800-449...
What is boo in Spanish?
You just told me it was some word, I don't know.
Well, I'm not clear.
Here's Maria on the Phil Hendry Show. Maria?
Hi.
Hi.
Okay, listen, my parents came from Italy, okay?
Well,
I'm
that's
the first
not Mexico.
generation. Shut up, let me talk, okay? You've been talking all night.
Do you know what boo in Spanish means?
No, I'm not Spanish, so
Okay,
I'm making
well, I'll
my
tell
point.
You. When you say boo
I don't want to know what it is.
means
I don't want to know what it is. I'm talking about. I don't care about the last caller.
All right.
I'm making my point now. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Now, when my parents came into this country, they had to learn elementary English. So if somebody went to them and said, "How much for your mama?" they knew exactly what they were talking about. Okay. What your clients are your clients are not retarded. Your clients are ignorant because your clients need to learn the language.
They don't know English.
They need to learn the language, okay? And they need to hire a real lawyer to get them legal, to get them legal in this country.
I'm a damn good immigration lawyer.
How could you be a damn good lawyer if you can't even get your practice off the ground? These people either hire an immigration lawyer or go back to their country.
You know,
and if they're that hell-bent,
be really afraid of those Disney
if they're that hell-bent on going to Disney World, tell them to go to Epcot and spend the day in Mexico, and they'll understand every freaking word that they're saying.
Hey, Maria, boo.
Okay.
Boo your ass. What are you talking about, boo?
You know what boo is in Spanish?
The only retard in this conversation is you.
You know what boo means in Spanish?
Yeah, we heard something about a love pump.
You threaten Disney and say, oh, you're a damn good lawyer, and you said yourself, quote, you can't even get your practice off the ground. So let me tell you something. There's a lot more garbage going on in this country since September 11th that if these people are worried about sticks and stones...
Welcome to Disneyland in Spanish means cram it up
Do they have their health? Do they not have their health? Look at these poor people in New York that lost their families.
1-800-449-8666. This is the Phil Hendry Show.
Instead of illegal aliens who are ignorant and don't want to...
1-800-449-8686. Now, Phil Hendry.
I got Vernon Dozier on the line. Go ahead, Vernon. You were mentioning to me that you have... It is the time-honored tradition in America to help people, I guess, assimilate. They have to put up with those jokes, those ethnic jokes, don't they?
Well, I doesn't understand it, and as a result, he has brought a great deal of heartache to my life, and he has brought a great deal of heartache to someone that I care about very much, and that's a little lady that I married 31 years ago. And her name is Sally, and she's my wife.
Well, what happened?
Well, it had always been her dream. She wanted a red brick wall along the eastern side of our property. Now, we have about a half acre. And this wall is something she wanted because she wanted to have a trellis of roses on it, and we were going to put some flat bricks on top and have a fountain and just the kind of a red brick wall. I guess it's kind of a country home wall.
I understand.
We took out a home equity loan. And I'll tell you what my little wife wants, she gets. So my son, who had 2 weeks of leave from the Air Force, came home, and also a contractor I know, Carter Voges. We built this gorgeous red brick wall, and I'll tell you what, it does accent our home very nice. Now, all of a sudden, a week ago Monday, I got a phone call from the gentleman who shares the property line with me. This is this Mr. Kim I was telling you about.
Okay, this is the Korean gentleman?
That is correct. He informs me that he had the city out, and they did an on-site survey of our property lines, and this Kim, through his broken English, claims the city will back him up that I built the wall on the property line, not inside of it.
So you're basically over onto his property?
That's what he says, and I call the city. Now, here's a guy you have to understand, Mr. Henry.
Because you guys had words initially. Now you build this wall, and now he calls the city. So you got a neighbor dispute, right?
Well, let me just tell you something. My wall is over his property line, okay, but I took out a home equity loan, and it was a dream for my wife to have. And you have to understand and put yourself in my position. I got a Korean telling me through his, broken up English, you got to take it down.
Now, you guys had words, correct?
Well,
I mean, before this wall situation, this wall is just one. What happened?
We did have words.
Tell me what happened.
They moved in last summer.
Now, who is they? Is that the Kims?
Yeah, that's my neighbors.
And this is the man that reported you to the city?
Yes, sir. And I was talking to him and his wife out in front of their house, and I had our black lab. We got a black lab named Candy. It's a beautiful black Labrador dog with us. And I was kidding around, and I pointed at our dog, and I said to the Korean couple, I said, no, barbecue the dog. I think I said, barbecue dog. And I was joking around.
Well, obviously the man didn't think it was funny, and so now he takes the city.
So here's the point. It's a rite of passage. So I've got to suffer, and I've got to sit there and quietly take it while he puts a cigarette out on my arm, figuratively speaking.
Well, no, I'm not saying, look, technically you're in the wrong. You built the wall on his property.
Well, he's doing it out of revenge.
All right, well, if it is a revenge move, it's not the funniest thing. How long had you known these people?
I've known them since they moved in.
No, when you said barbecue dog, how long had you known them?
We had just met them that day.
That morning?
Yeah.
I mean, just then?
I guess I'd been talking to them for probably about 5 minutes or 6 minutes, something like that.
So 6 minutes into a conversation with a couple that just moves in next door, you say barbecue dog.
Mr. Henry, as I said to your producer, it is a rite of passage in America to be able to take a few jokes about your ethnic origin, something every generation of foreigners had to do. I don't know what makes this Korean so special. I don't know what makes him think that he's so special that I can't do a couple of barbecued, you cook the dog, stir-fry the cat jokes with this guy, okay?
Well, you say in order to assimilate into America, you have to be able to take ethnic jokes at your expense.
Yeah, to a degree. I made a joke about the Korean eating the neighborhood dog. You know how old that is? How old that Korean's eating the dog joke?
But could you take that kind of joke?
I'm not a foreigner. I'm native born, so there's no joke you can make about me. But that's because my people were smart enough to come here way long time ago as opposed to a Korean that just got off the boat. But it's not, I don't mind the guy living next door to me.
All right, 1-800-449-8686 is the number here on the Phil Hendry Show. Vernon Dozier, you're a high school football coach and teacher?
Yes, sir. I am very proud to say I'm in my 30th year, actually, with the Belmar Academy.
All right, and you are having a neighborhood dispute with your next-door neighbor who called the city and said you built a wall in his property. But this may have its roots, sir, in that day, not too long ago, you said the beginning of the summer, that you made a Korean dog joke.
Well, if what you're telling me, Phil, is that this Korean has got a problem with me because I made a don't barbecue my dog joke, and now this guy goes to the city and rats me out because my brick wall is 3 inches over on his property, and my wife, who I will commit murder for, and I say that fully, all right? And I say that...
Well, no, wait. Are you threatening this man?
No, I'm just telling you how much I love my wife and how what she means to me. She wanted a red brick wall, and I built her a red brick wall.
Did you stop, sir, to figure out, did you survey the property yourself? Did you have a map?
I had a property line assessment map, that I had drawn up. Now,
did you get it from the city?
I did not get it from. I know where my property line is. I think the Korean just had a hard-on for. Well, excuse my language.
Yeah, please watch your language.
Well, he had a problem with me because I said, barbecue my dog.
But the fact is, and he's backed up by the city, that the brick wall is over the line. And you feel persecuted, though.
Well, the brick wall may be over the line, but the Korean had it in for me because he doesn't get that when you come to America, you might as well expect to take a few cuties. You're going to take a couple of sweet ones, just a couple of, knuckleballs off the cup. And they are jokes, and that's all they are. And I have never said that you're not allowed to live next door to me. And this Mr. Kim is purposely trying to make my wife and me have problems because if that brick wall has to come down, then my wife, I don't think she's going to stay with me.
Well, you're worried about your marriage. You're worried about the Korean man. You made a joke about barbecuing dogs. You got all kinds of problems, don't you?
I'm a native-born American. What did I do wrong?
I want to ask something, then we're going to take a break. You say it's okay for ethnic jokes because that's the rite of passage in America.
That is correct.
If you were black, would you have a problem with someone calling you the N-word?
None at all, no. I wouldn't care at all.
No, wait, come on. Black people were born and raised here, though. I mean, most African Americans when we say African American, we're talking about generation after generation after generation. 500 years. Okay, do you think they get to be called the N-word?
Well, technically they are tourists. I mean, I'm not tourists, but they come from tourists. Now, I know they were slaves, so that's a hell of a, you don't want to call a slave a tourist, but they came over to see the country or whatever you want to say about it. Okay.
Wait a minute, African Americans come from generations of African slaves, not tourists.
Well, but they're foreigners. They came over. I don't know what they did, if they had to have a passport or whatever.
No, they didn't have to have a passport. They just came over and dropped them off here. Anyway.
Look, to make the point, they could call me the N-word. They could call me Sam Spade, whatever, because I know that they would just be trying to get me to assimilate, okay?
Well, what if somebody called you a cracker, a honky, an ofe? You know, like the white slang, the slang words for whites, a snowflake. What if they had said that? Hey, snowflake, go get me a pack of cigarettes. What do you think of that?
It wouldn't bother me at all.
Wouldn't bother you?
No, because the purpose is to help me assimilate.
So you were trying to help Mr. Kim to assimilate when you said to him and pointed at your dog, you know barbecue dog.
That is correct. And now he has the city telling me to tear down a wall. So you see what happened here. I made a joke about Korean food, and he wants to take my manhood away by tearing down our wall. Because if that wall comes down, my manhood is basically... God, I'm sick of the Korean.
Now, okay, hold on for a minute. I thought I heard him say I'm sick of Koreans. Vernon Dozier is a high school football coach. He made a joke to a brand new Korean neighbor. You know barbecue my dog. He believes that's why his Korean neighbor went to the city and had them survey the land to find out if this wall he had built was over on the guy's property, and indeed it was. Mr. Dozier believes it's vindictive. He thinks it's revenge from this Korean family because they don't get that if you are from another country, you have to expect to take these jokes. It's a rite of passage. 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. You know, as a native-born American, I've never really had to take many American jokes. I remember the first time was when I was standing in Britain. I was standing in Hyde Park, London, and a guy looked at me and he said, "You're American?" I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Well, you're nothing but a what was it called? Second-hand European." That was it. It was the first time anybody had given me, and I thought it was funnier than hell. I loved it. But beyond that, Mr. Dozier is saying, hey, you know what? If you're Korean, you better expect to take a barbecue dog joke every now and again. 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. The triumph of intelligence over ignorance.
Is back. 1-800-449-8686.
I'm talking with Vernon Dozier. Hold on, Mr. Dozier. You're talking to me. You said to your Korean neighbor, please, barbecue my dog, and you said that was a comment on Korean food.
Absolutely. It was not meant to slur the Korean people. It was a way of just saying, welcome to America. I mean, we take a few shots. Korean food is notoriously terrible. And if this Mr. Kim would just keep quiet about my wall being on his property, I could do a lot to help him out. I mean, immigrants in this country need all kinds of help. It's not the smartest thing, any of them, trying to make an enemy. And this Kim, now what does he want? Now he wants to piss me off? Is that it?
Well, you know what? That comment right there I don't like.
Why?
Because that sounds as if you're threatening him. Look, barbecue my dog. He doesn't dig your wall being on his property. And then you say to me, if you were black, you wouldn't mind being called the N-word.
I wouldn't have any problem with it at all.
You're not black, so how would you know?
It's a colorist, what's the difference between being white and black? I mean...
What's the difference between being white and black? 500 years of a completely different social entry into this country and experience.
Well, I don't know what your sources are.
My sources are any history book you want to talk about, sir. Here is Vicky on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello? Vicky?
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I just like a comment from Mr. Dozier. He keeps saying that he was native born and that they're immigrants that are coming over.
Yeah, I was born here in America.
Okay, well, so were the black people, sir. If you are not a Sioux Indian, Cherokee, and you weren't originally in this country, and that's not part of your heritage, which it is part of my heritage, and you were not a Native American, you come over a boat just like everybody else did.
Yeah, but the Indians, they came here across the Bering Strait, so they didn't even come here. See? They pushed out whoever was here.
But you're making the comment
so your
that you're Native
pushed
American, they have nothing.
I was born here. The Korean came here on the boat. Now,
okay, in America, we all have the same rights. Whether we come here and we become citizens, we are all given the same rights.
Exactly.
Just because he came over, well, If he didn't want to hear that joke, then you should not have said it.
Well, ma'am.
And it's his right because the wall is on his property. If he wants it removed, then you have to remove it because you built your wall on his property, regardless of what started.
But he wants it removed because I made the crack about Korean food being like stir-fried dog, okay? And if you say you're an Indian, I can make a couple of, what do you find underneath a squaw?
I don't really care.
$2.
I mean,
that's a joke that's an Indian.
Okay, I don't want to get off into telling ethnic jokes here, all right? Mr. Dozier?
I understand. But it's no big deal. And,
to you it may be, sir, to you it may be no big deal, but to someone else it is. And your rights begin where another person's rights begin.
Well, this
your
guy
right to tell that joke ended when you were on him and you talked to him. If he didn't want to hear it, then he didn't have to hear it.
Well,
and regardless of what the joke started, that ball is on.
How am I supposed to know whether he wanted to hear it or not unless I told it? See what I'm saying? What am I supposed to do? Do you mind if I tell you a joke about you eating my dog?
That person may not have liked that joke.
Well, how am I supposed to know?
You don't tell ethnic jokes. You don't tell racist jokes. You don't tell sexual jokes because you don't know what the other person, what their beliefs are, what they want to hear. It doesn't give you the right to do it because you want to.
No, in America, you have the right. I told a joke, and we had a lot of saleswomen in, and I said, reminds me of the joke. The guy says, hey, how are your 9 sons, or how are your 8 sons, Mr. O'Reilly? He says, well, my 8 sons are fine. He says, one more, you'd have a baseball team. He says, you're right. He says, and how are your 17 daughters? He says, my 17 daughters are great. He says, one more, you'd have a golf course. And
oh, my God, would you please understand who you're talking to?
What? What's wrong with that joke?
It's insulting. It's sexual. It is inappropriate. And on top of everything else, you think it's perfectly fine. So suppose I look at you. Where are your ancestors from?
America.
No. What European country are your ancestors from?
Who knows? I think they were always here.
No. Are you a white man?
Yes, I am.
All right, so where are you?
You originally did not come here, sir, if you're a white man.
No, I'm pretty sure they were
came from
here.
some European country. You either came from, you were either a Viking, you were in England. The white people came from England.
It doesn't make any difference where I'm from. You can't make jokes about me. I'm bland. I'm all mixed together.
Yeah, it must be nice to have pure blood in you so that you can come along and make a joke about it. All right, thank you very much, Vicky. 1-800-449-8686. Ariel, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Yeah, how's it going? I'd like to say something to Mr. Dozier. It wasn't very smart of him to say that. Basically, he doesn't even know, if he studied Korean culture or anything like that, he basically doesn't know, where they're coming from.
What are you talking about? You'd eat the dog. Why do I got to know where he's coming from? He's in America now. He needs to go where I'm coming from. See? And, it's like if I had a guy move in next door to me who was,
maybe he didn't know where you were coming from. You know what I mean?
Well, all right, but so now the guy rats me out.
And then now, it's your mistake for putting your property, making something on his property.
Is that a reason to take a man's manhood away from him?
How does he know that it's your manhood? You know what I mean?
Well, that wall I built for my wife, he takes that wall down, he might as well just go ahead and take my testicles.
Well, he doesn't know that. That's his property, so he has the right to do that.
Yes, and the city is backing him up. And on top of everything else, I don't blame him for being angry, Mr. Dozier, when you make a crack like that, no barbecue the dog.
Well, I made a little joke about Korean food, and this guy wants to rip my manhood completely away from my...
I understand. I understand. Thank you, Ariel. Here is Julie on the Phil Hendry Show. Julie?
Hi.
Yes.
I want to say something. I'm kind of scared that this ignorant man is a high school teacher.
Ma'am, you come right off the bat and call me ignorant. What makes me ignorant? I said a way to assimilate in America is to be able to take a couple of jokes. Like, what are you? Are you French or something, or what?
I think that's uncalled for and rude.
Well,
I don't care if I'm Italian.
Oh, my God. I have all those hairy lip jokes. We could go on forever with you. And the reason why I don't do it is because, were you born here?
Yes, as a matter of fact, I was.
You were born here.
Yeah.
But you show me one of these, what do you call it?
You know
these
what?
Italians
This
off the
isn't
boat.
the point. This isn't the point. The point is you're ignorant. The second point is you built a wall on his property. Get it off.
You know what I did?
You're in the wrong. You're absolutely in the wrong.
Hey, by the way, how do you draw a Haitian? You give him a shoebox and you tell him it floats. That's the kind of stuff you do. And
oh, yeah, uh-huh.
No,
you know what? I don't really think that it's kind of a waste of everyone's time listening to you.
Yeah, you know, because I don't think you can be convinced, Mr. Dozier, and you're going to have to tear that wall down.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. Hey, Jackball. It's entertainment. Phil Hendry Show is back. 1-800-449-8686.
And I hear that they're pulling the wall down now, sir. Is that it?
Yeah, the city showed, not the city, it's a private construction. They're bringing the wall down. So he's basically taken my manhood away from me. And I really don't know where it's written in the United States Constitution that says another man gets to castrate another man because I made some joke about him barbecuing my dog.
Well, that's not just the only joke you made. I mean, you know, you also said that you mentioned to him, if my daughter pet sits for you, or if your daughter pet sits for us, what was it?
What I said was, see, I like to be quoted accurately, sir.
All right, what did you say?
I said, if your daughter pet sits for us, I hope she doesn't eat our cat. And then I said, I'm only kidding. So I immediately backed it up.
All right, but now the city, and this is the city, said that when they came out to take a look at the wall, and he said, Mr. Kim said it was too far over into his property, you said, why don't you open your eyes up a little wider, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Because of the slant. So in other words, I can't make a slant-eye joke. Is that what you're telling me? I'm not...
While you're assessing property and legal issues, you're making a slant-eye joke?
It was a joke.
Well, right now, they're ripping your wall down.
Yeah, well, you know what? I've got a great lawyer. By the way, what does a Korean call a dog wagging its tail?
Oh, come on.
A Happy Meal, see? But do you think I can...
Hold on for a minute. Here is Seaton. Go ahead, sir. Seaton, you're on the Phil Hendry Show with Vernon Dozier and Phil Hendry.
Yes, it's interesting. Mr. Dozier talked about this guy is taking away his manhood. But he built the wall on his neighbor's property, irregardless of who the neighbor was, whether it was his Korean neighbor or his white neighbor before him. And his manhood said that, hey, I could just put a wall up wherever I wanted.
Well, no, sir.
Now he feels that this gentleman has no right to ask him to remove the wall from his property. Maybe if he had approached a guy with a little humility and a little good neighbor, what I would consider Americanism, real Americanism, the guy might have said, oh, what the hell? Leave the wall up there.
Well, that's what he should have done. I mean, he came after my wall because he was angry, because he didn't have a sense of humor.
Wait a minute.
That's ridiculous. I've never heard anything so ridiculous in my entire life.
Wait a minute. Why? I made an all-American little ethnic crack that, big deal. And he
man, that you know what? Those kind of cracks are very un-American. Very un-American. And, somewhere along the line, it's absolutely, it's almost terrifying that you are involved with young minds and carry this type of influence on the young minds. But you know what? You are so ridiculous that you offer the alternative, where a young mind can look at you and he might not say a word, but he's thinking, you know what? This guy is out in left field. He's just the kind of guy I don't want to be.
Well, I'd like to tell you, sir, that we graduate a great many young students. I'm a football coach as well. I'd like to think the children we turn out at Belmar Academy are quality American citizens, black and white. I don't make any ethnic jokes. He was my neighbor. I said, barbecue my dog. Big deal. Now this Chinaman, or not Chinaman,
that is
Korean.
A big deal.
Well,
that is a big deal.
Look, let me tell you something between you and me. You're an American. I can tell by the sound of your voice you're African American, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But between you and me, these Chinese, this is what we got to look out for.
Hey man, you know what? Between you and me, Europeans came over here to another guy's home.
Yeah, but what about...
stabbed the flag in the ground and hollered, this is mine.
Well, that's the way...
How deep is that?
Well, that's history. History is replete with people taking over other people. Well, look, the blacks came over here and did what they did. And
the African American came over here as a slave.
Here we go.
African Americans were brought over here.
One day, what are you?
They had no choice in the matter.
Well, you're sorry that we did you a favor, didn't we? I mean, and one day I put on one of my daughter's stuffed animals on the barbecue, and I said, "Hey, Mr. Kim, soup's on." And I thought it was funny. My wife thought it was funny, but this Kim, can he laugh? No.
You put one of your daughter's stuffed animals on a barbecue?
Yes.
And you said soup's on?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, everything that you did pissed this guy off so much they're ripping your freaking wall down right now, okay? So good luck.
Well, I'll tell you right now.
That sounds about right to me.
This is what the Chinese are doing.
Exactly right.
This is what these Chinese are.
If you were my neighbor, the same thing would be happening.
You take my wall down.
Absolutely, without a doubt. No, I wouldn't take your wall down. You would take it down.
Even if I made the little...
And that whole crack about open your eyes a little wider.
Well, come on. When did we stop being able to laugh at ourselves?
No, the thing of it is, Mr. Dozier, is... Thank you very much, Seaton, by the way, for your phone call. You want everybody else to laugh at themselves, but you can't laugh at yourself.
How can I laugh at myself? I don't come from anywhere but America. So I'm not...
You're kind of joke-proof, huh? You're ethnic joke-proof?
Pretty much. I mean, right now I'm watching them take down this wall that I built for my wife, and you might as well take a set of garden shears to my scrotum, because all of the...
Come on, pal. This is a wall that can be rebuilt 1 inch inside your property line.
Say that again?
I said the wall can be rebuilt 1 inch inside the property line.
Jesus, it's interesting that you say that, because in all of the excitement, I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, in all of the excitement. You know what? You've been thinking up too many freaking barbecue my dog jokes to think about how to build that wall. Here is Anka. Hello, Anka. You're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Hi, Mr. Jojo. I am a German living in the United States for 10 years, and I have to tell you, you are a very cruel and insensitive man. If I don't know somebody, if I don't know a person, and that person just walks right up to me and says, "Hey, you crowd," I would be very offended.
Well, I would think of all the people who would understand.
And somebody walked up to me, and I've known the person for a while and would call me a crowd, I would not be offended, because I know where the person is coming from, because I have known the person for a while.
Yeah, but
I don't know. You do not walk up to me and call me a crowd, okay?
All right, but the difference is you guys lost the World War, so you have to take these jokes.
I would stand you, because I don't walk up to you and call you a hot dog eating cowboy. Okay?
Well, but here's the thing about the Germans.
I think you're very full of yourself.
You guys have to take these jokes.
I don't want to hear any of your dumb jokes.
Because you lost the war, you guys are going to have to...
I don't care how many wars you lost, but you still...
No, you lost the war. We didn't. So you guys have to take the German jokes.
You've never known before, and
the whole thing about how you guys...
Hey, you don't eat my dog, and
do you eat dog?
Eyes or whatever you said. I just think that you're very cruel and insensitive, and you're very full of yourself, and you shouldn't be allowed to be a teacher. Do you understand that? Because the crap that...
All right, take a breath, Anka. Take a breath. Take a breath. All right. Vernon?
I just want to say to Anka, Sieg Heil.
Oh, that's really great. That's really great.
I feel really sorry for your pupils, and I hope your crap doesn't spill over to them, because you must still live in the 1800s. We live in the modern world now, and regardless who lives in the United States, you do not have any right to make any stupid jokes unless you know that person and they know where you're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay?
Hey, what do you think of that Hogan's Hero? Seriously.
Just take a hold of yourself, step back and check yourself, and
check myself. Get you
and build a wall on my property and call me a crowd. I would take the wall down myself. Okay? You got that?
These crowds love to push their weight around.
Oh, get out of here, will you, with your freaking crowd discipline. Anka, thank you for your call, okay?
Okay. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Still there? Oh, damn it, she hung up.
Why?
I wanted her to say one thing for me.
What?
Hogan, 30 days in the cooler for you and your man.
Yeah, okay. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. Fair and balanced without the porn. Phil Henry Show is back. 1-800-449-8686.
Bobby Dooley on the show yesterday.
This is the Phil Henry Show. 1-800-449-8686.
Tonight, the U.S. Marines are in Fallujah, and we're going to talk at length about that. We're going to start our show off tonight with a special guest from a group called Border Rescue, Dean Wheeler. Later on, we will have Phil's mailbag. We have some flashbacks and some comments on SUVs. Mr. Wheeler joins us from an organization that's a rather controversial one, a group of citizens who engage in assisting and providing safe passage for illegal immigrants coming across the U.S.-Mexican border. We've heard of organizations like this, Mr. Wheeler. I don't want to debate you. I know there are a lot of people who will find it very questionable. The first thing I want to do, though, is ask you, where are the main passage points for illegal immigrants coming into the United States?
Phil, the main passage points, and when you say you don't want to debate me, I'm going to take that to mean you don't agree with us assisting in a humanitarian effort to help these people that you call illegal immigrants find their way safely across the border.
Well, I have issues with the legality of helping people commit a crime, technically, which is coming into the country. But where are the main passage illegally coming into the country? Where are these points?
The main points of entry are really any place you don't find the concrete reinforcement or the barbed wire reinforcement that the Border Patrol and the federal officers have put up. Those three places... those places would be anywhere other than three spots where we do have a reinforced border. That is San Diego, California, Nogales, Texas, and El Paso, Texas. And today in California, Phil, we're experiencing record-breaking heat.
It's very hot.
Absolutely. And these bear a great many Bracero amigos that risk the heat. And we need to get to these people with water, cover, assist in their safe passage, medical attention. That's what Border Rescue is about.
Now, your organization is not popular because you are assisting people to enter this country illegally. There are militias out there that are trying to keep people from entering the country illegally. But isn't it true that that's what you're doing?
We are assisting people entering this country. The legality, the illegality, we don't focus on that. We're simply trying to get these people off the desert and into a safe place. And by concentrating on whether it's legal or illegal, it doesn't matter whether it's legal or illegal. We're trying to help people. It's people helping people. That's what Border Rescue is.
But you could turn them around after you help them and take them back to Mexico. Why not?
Well, they're heading north. This is where they've chosen to come. I'm not in a position to tell them what to do with their lives.
But you take them north. Couldn't you take them south?
I'm not in a position. There's a book, and maybe some of your readers have heard about it, or some of your listeners, I should say, have heard about it. And it's a book called the Bible.
And I'm sure they've heard about it.
Well, all right, if they have, there's a character in the Bible by the name of the Good Samaritan. And he came along a road one day and saw a man who was laying there and had been beaten up and thrown out of a car or something, or not a car. They didn't have cars then.
All right, he'd been beaten up or he'd been abused and robbed, right?
Yes, the Good Samaritan came across this man. He didn't question the person. He just helped him. That's what Border Rescue is all about.
But I'm just saying that to assist your government, couldn't you, once you help the immigrant, turn them over to the Border Patrol?
Well, at this particular... You say my government? Is that what you said, Phil?
Yeah, I said your government, my government, our government.
Well, I happen to be a John Kerry supporter, so my government hasn't been elected yet. And that time we can reassess at that time when John Kerry's elected. But it is probable that a President Kerry will open the borders to these unfortunate and very hard-working Bracero amigos and Bracero amigas.
What does Bracero amigo mean?
Well, it means friendly wanderer. In many ways, we are all descended from the Bracero.
So then, where do you take them? You find these people who are wandering in the desert.
What we do is offer them water, some food and shelter. We take them to a safe house. The men who are skilled can go to work. Generally, the women do not have too many skills. We are able to provide the women with some hospitality training. We give them some clothing to wear. We show them how to apply makeup. We try to, in other words, if they're here, I'm not going to tell them to go back. So we give them some clothing, and we can put them to work in our safe houses. We're rescuing people from the heat of the desert. And so what we primarily want to do is help them
with their lives.
What do you mean you're giving the women hospitality training? You're giving the women dresses and giving them makeup?
That is correct.
Are you telling me these are Mexican immigrant women, right?
Yes, sir.
Is your organization having them provide some kind of a sexual service?
You know, Mr. Henry, you say that as if it is a completely horrific endeavor. Would you rather them be out in the desert dying of dehydration? If you think
finding women who are in the middle of the desert and who are dying of dehydration because of the heat is one thing. Bringing them up and having them perform sexual services for people, I think, is something else entirely, don't you?
What we are doing is we are giving these women a fighting chance at staying alive in a very, very hostile environment, this country. And I didn't say sexual services. I said providing intimate company for men who are just like them, hardworking people. And I think if you're asking the average Mexican woman, would she rather be laying dead in the desert, her bones bleaching in the sun, or providing an intimate, emotional, and not completely unpleasurable service?
Well, I wouldn't presume to answer that question, but your organization...
Mr. Henry, hold on. Let me answer it for you. The answer is the immigrant Mexican woman, in fact, any woman, would much rather be employed providing an intimate service for our truckers and naval personnel than crawling through the Anza-Borrega Desert with a scavenger buzzard circling overhead, no water, I don't understand your question.
All right, I'm going to give out our phone number here. Border Rescue, 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686 is the number as he talks about rescuing illegal immigrants and not taking them back to the border, Mr. Wheeler. You're not taking them to the Border Patrol. You're taking them deeper into California and giving them jobs working in what you call safe houses. What are these, hospitality suites?
You know, it's difficult to talk with you about this because you've already got a wrong impression of this.
Well, no, you told me that these women are providing some kind of sexual service.
No, what I said was this, and I think we got off on the wrong foot. We give young women who we find who have come over the border, they're dying of dehydration and thirst. You understand that, right?
Yes, I understand, especially on a day like today.
We give them an opportunity to go to work here in the United States
illegally.
I'm not going to judge them. There's something there's a book called the Bible, which I told you about. And
yeah, I've heard of the Bible, and so have my listeners.
Well, have you read the part which says if you don't have no sin, go ahead and throw the brick? You remember that part, don't you?
I do remember that part, and I'm not trying to judge anyone. What I am saying, though, is in your particular instance, you are basically justifying the fact that you're putting women to work as prostitutes. Isn't that what you're doing?
I haven't used that word at all.
But isn't that what that is in exchange for having saved their lives? And you're justifying all of this by saying that if you don't have any sin, throw the first stone, and the Good Samaritan helped. Did the Good Samaritan put that guy to work as a prostitute?
I don't know the full extent of the story. I read the story in the Bible, but I didn't look into it any deeper. He might have. I didn't look into it any deeper than that. All I know is the Good Samaritan helped a man who essentially had, as my kids would say, had a can of ass opened up on him, and he was laying there in the Good Samaritan. What we do with Border Rescue is rescue. This is a terrible problem.
Look, I will tell you this, Mr. Wheeler. I'm very well aware of the fact that we have immigrants coming across the border in the dead of summer. It's hot. They don't have any water. They're victimized by coyotes, which are these guys that basically sell them into slavery. They are victimized by fellow Mexicans who are robbing them and otherwise beating them and taking their belongings and leaving them for dead. They got to run from the Border Patrol, and they brave an awful lot to come into this country.
And what we do is we help them. And to find fault with that,
I don't find fault with helping them. I find fault with bringing the women up to Los Angeles and putting them to work as what you call hospitality hostesses, which you don't want to come out and call it a prostitute.
Which I do not call it a prostitute.
Well, if they're providing sex, isn't that a prostitute?
Does your wife provide sex to you?
She's not charging me money. Are you charging the men money?
Are we charging who money?
Are you charging men money to have sex with these Mexican immigrants that you just picked up in the Anza-Borrega Desert not 3 hours before?
We are asking for a donation to Border Rescue to help us continue the work.
It is a voluntary donation.
It's totally voluntary.
All right, 1-800-449-8686, the number here on the Phil Hendrie Show. You heard the conversation just there, right there with Dean Wheeler. Border Rescue. They go out, they find people, and this is a terrible problem. It's a humanitarian disaster. When people come across the border from Mexico, they do need help. This man, his organization helps them. The women then turn around and are brought to L.A. to be hospitality hostesses. 1-800-449-8686. We'll be back on the world-famous Phil Hendrie Show to talk with Dean Wheeler of Border Rescue in a moment.
The Phil Hendrie Show. 1-800-449-8686. Get a piece of fat and slide off. The Phil Hendrie Show is back. 1-800-449-8686.
On the air with me on the Phil Hendrie Show, Dean Wheeler with Border Rescue, an organization that rescues people, illegal immigrants, as they come across the U.S.-Mexico border. And one of the reasons why this rescue is necessary is because it is extremely hot. There are extremely hostile elements out there, both human and natural. But your rescue takes the place, Mr. Wheeler, it takes a greater shape after you rescue some of these women. You are asking them to perform sexual services for a clientele that you have at so-called safe houses.
Mr. Hendrie, with all due respect, there are those of us who have worked on behalf of the plight of third world peoples. I attended the World Trade Organization protests. I have been a regular guest on KPFK. I have been a regular guest at a number of seminars in the Northern California area that pertain to human rights issues. And I would submit to you, because this is something I think every woman, and women really are the new modern-day colored person. They need civil rights. They need civil rights. And I would submit to you...
Well, look, what are you submitting to me? That they would rather be prostitutes than die in the desert?
I would say that any woman would much rather, suffer through an hour or two of sex with a sailor from the U.S. Fifth Fleet or whatever, than die as she watches a buzzard come in for swooping down for the kill. I think we're asking these ladies to entertain some of our naval personnel and some of our truckers.
Well, I'm going to save your life so that you can work as a prostitute.
We're saving their lives so that they can earn a decent income, not picking lettuce, not cleaning houses, and not scrubbing a toilet. But you, Mr. Hendrie, you would rather have those women with their hands in a toilet than wearing a pretty dress, having nice perfume, and everything.
1-800-449-8686. Let me go first here to Irma. Irma, hi, you're on the Phil Hendrie Show with Dean Wheeler of Border Rescue.
Yes, I think Mr. Wheeler is a poor excuse for a human being, and I believe that women have a right to have civil rights.
We are saving the lives of these women.
They have a right to civil rights, but they also have a right for human rights, to treat them as human beings.
Of course, but would you rather they die in the desert?
Giving them a dress and makeup is not what they want. They would much prefer to pick lettuce, to pick strawberries.
How do you know this?
Give men sexual pleasure.
How do you know this?
I've come from an immigrant background. I've dealt with a lot of immigrants, and they would much prefer to pick the lettuce than give any man sexual pleasure.
All right, Mr. Wheeler, your response?
Well, I think it's easy for Irma to sit on the fence and watch others do the work of helping their fellow man. We've taken an awful lot of criticism from people who don't do anything for their fellow man. We're doing something. We're actively doing something to save the people that come over the border. And I think it's bad. I think it's really bad.
You are essentially a pimp for these women.
See, all you can do is call me names, but you don't have... What are you doing?
You are quoting the Bible, and you think that is the right thing to do?
No, I'm saying we're saving people's lives from a fate at the hands of the coyote.
Do you protect them against sexual diseases?
The coyote.
Do you protect them against abuse? Do you protect them against anything like that that comes along with prostitution?
Of course we do. Yes, we do.
No, you don't.
Yes. Well, okay. She's telling me now what she's saying.
Well, what do you mean? No, he doesn't, Irma.
Because first of all,
she doesn't want to have to. She doesn't want to believe. She doesn't want to believe that I treat people well, and she doesn't do anything.
I do a lot of things.
Did you come here legally?
I do a lot more than
you come here legally?
Right there. I am not a pimp.
Did you come here legally?
Yes, I did come here legally. Actually,
you're so full of it. I hate.
Oh, you know what?
I hate liars.
You know what? And I hate people who are pimps.
All right. Thank you very much, whatever her name is, Irma.
Well, the name Irma, now that is a classic. This is what I mean. As soon as you said her name was Irma, I knew that's a very classic northern Mexican name of the females. And I knew right away that she was going to be an immigrant who claims that she was born here, and because she wants to be an American. But she probably, at one time or another, when she came to this country.
What is your point here, sir?
Well, I'm just saying she probably, when she came to this country, probably acted as an escort for a member of our naval personnel.
What is this with the Navy, man? In other words, this is houses of prostitution frequented by sailors?
Members of the United States Naval Service.
Where are you right now?
Right now I'm in a barber shop. I'm just getting a trim because we have a client meeting tonight.
Because I can hear like scissors. 1-800-449-8686. Esther, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendry Show with Dean Wheeler.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hey, have you ever heard of Heidi Fleiss?
Well,
You're number 2.
Which is it?
That's all you're doing.
Fleiss or Fleiss?
Regardless. I mean, how can you quote the good book when you don't even know the good book yourself?
Well, again, I'll ask you the same question I asked the other lady. What are you doing? Nothing.
What am I doing to help the people? You know
what?
Yeah. Come in here legally.
These ladies are... Did you come here legally? No.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So the fact is,
you know what? You're supporting prostitution. You're a liar. You're not protecting these people. Who cares about the hot weather? You just want prostitutes.
Do you ever
must have been a Navy person.
In the middle of the Anza-Borrega Desert, dying, and I would submit to you that were you given the choice between being a bleached set of bones in the middle of the Colorado Desert, or giving it up for a wonderful member of the United States Coast Guard, I think you would do the same.
You're saying every woman would rather become a prostitute. That's what you're saying. You're saying every woman to be a prostitute rather than die. I don't doubt that would probably be the case, given the choice between death and life. But are you forcing them into this?
No, I'm not. I didn't bring them over from Mexico. You know, Phil, get some American women I can talk to, because the Mexican female is notoriously undereducated.
You idiot! I'm Spaniard. I'm not even Mexican.
Same difference. Same difference.
It doesn't. No.
Yeah, it's the same. Everybody that's a Mexican says they're a Spaniard.
All you
wait a minute. Are you a racist, Mr. Wheeler? On top of everything else?
No, I'm not a racist. This lady, though, doesn't want to be called a Mexican because she hates them. And this is something else that we are.
All right. Fine.
But I want to.
Hold on. 1-800-449-8686. Maybe we can get a conversation going here with somebody. I don't know. Here is Ellen. Ellen, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendry Show with Dean Wheeler.
Yes, hi. First of all, I'm an American citizen from San Francisco.
Thank God.
Yes, and I'm Irish and Hispanic.
I've been talking to cleaning women for the last 20 minutes.
Exactly, but you're talking to an American citizen, a hardworking woman.
All right, Ellen, I'm going to ask you to just hold on. Just hold on, because we are going to take a news break. And forgive me, but you hang on. You'll be right up right after the news. 1-800-449-8686. You're listening to the Phil Hendry Show. Dean Wheeler of Border Rescue on rescuing these immigrants who come across the border during the midday heat with the sun and the coyotes and the Border Patrol, and he rescues them with water and food, and then brings the women to L.A., and they become hospitality hostesses. That is prostitutes. It's the Phil Hendry Show, 1-800-449-8686.
The Phil Hendry Show, 1-800-449-8686. Communist influenced. 1-800-449-8686. The Phil Hendry Show is back.
With Dean Wheeler from Border Rescue. As I talk to you, Mr. Wheeler, and I'm going to get Ellen back on here because we didn't have time for her. Ellen, you there?
Yeah, I'm right here.
All right. You are increasingly, sir, taking a place in my mind of one who exploits rather than helps. And And that to me is...
Well, Mr. Henry, I expected you'd say something like that. I find you to be...
No, well, hold on for a minute. You have women that you rescue and men that you... The men get to go on and work?
I'm sorry?
Where do the men go?
The men go to wherever to go pick lettuce or whatever they do. The women need the help because...
Why the women? Why the special interest in the women?
They have children with them. They cannot travel. We're trying to give them, and then they'll go back to Mexico. You think that we're trying to, create some kind of an industry here that illegally we're simply trying to give them money and at the same time help our fighting men who are on their way to Iraq. And I find it very surprising, to say the very least, that you would not want our United States naval personnel and Coast Guard to enjoy the company of these lovely young, Mexicans that we picked up.
All right, go ahead, Ellen.
Okay, first of all, that really offends me because I come from a military family, and, to entertain women, to have the men entertain like that, I think is wrong. In the Bible, there is something about, no, wait a minute, you had your turn.
Hold on, what are you talking about?
But the thing about having women entertaining these men is wrong. You're exploiting. You're just as bad as the coyotes that are getting money and killing these people to get them across the border.
Well, there's a long tradition of our military personnel being entertained by women.
Yeah, but just because there's a long history of that doesn't mean that it's right. It is wrong. It is
Ellen, we
morally
are asking our young men to go to Iraq and risk their lives in service of their country. Don't you think the least we can do is give them the company
I would rather die having my soul intact with the Lord than to sell my soul and be a slut. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. I don't get that.
I would rather keep my virginity, my celibacy, than to sell my soul to you. You're not helping these women. You're not helping this woman.
Well,
how you can help these women is get them trained for a vocation. Have them learn
That's exactly
English,
what we're doing.
Prostitution isn't a vocation.
Well, first of all, she says...
but we're talking about a decent help, okay? There's church groups that are decent.
Let me ask you a question. You wouldn't get on your knees for a $100 bill?
No, I would not.
You wouldn't pray to the Lord for a $100 bill?
No.
What are you talking about?
I would pray to the Lord for me to help me do the right decision.
All right, can I ask you a question? Do you clean houses? Do you clean houses?
No.
Did you?
No.
Well,
no. I've done security. I'm a security guard, and I work in the retail business, okay? I am
wait a minute.
Hispanic.
Did you just say
Hispanic.
you just said you work in the tail business?
Retail.
Retail.
I don't understand.
You don't understand what retail is.
I work for Safeway customer service, and I'm a security guard.
All right, you just said you work safely in the tail business. That's what we do.
Retail, Safeway.
Hello, retail is when you sell products.
I thought it's when you resell tail. And
are you being funny?
No, sir, I'm not. I'm trying to listen to what you say.
I'm not being funny either.
Well, I'm asking this man, Mr. Wheeler, are you trying to make a joke?
She said that she practices safe sex in the reselling of tail.
I did not say that. I said that I would rather, keep my soul intact than, give myself up for a guy to entertain.
Well, haven't you? Well, if you're a lesbian.
I don't think she said that.
No, I don't think so, honey.
You are. I think you are.
I have a daughter, and I love men. Trust me.
Wait a second. I thought you said you're a virgin. Why, you liar.
You know what? First of all, stop trying to distract.
You said you were. You did. You said your virginity intact. You said keep your virginity intact.
No, let's keep to the point. Let's keep to the point. You're exploiting
So you are in
women.
the tail business.
No, she said that a woman who may be a virgin.
She didn't say that.
Never mind. I understood you, Ellen. I got to move on. 1-800-449-8686. Here is Pam on the Phil Hendry Show with Dean Wheeler. Go ahead, Pam.
Hi, Dean. Listen, I want you to do one thing. I want you to keep your mouth shut and let me talk. I am not Hispanic. I am white. I'm an American woman. Shut up. And I want to tell you that you degrade women so horribly. You take their self-respect away. If you I would rather just be quiet. I would rather.
All right, but I'd like to give my liberal credentials.
Lettuce. I would rather clean toilets. I would do anything, but nobody is going to make me or any self-respecting woman
do what you're making them do, and you're making them do it. I bet you're not saying you're not listening. You're talking. Shut up.
I'm hearing everything you're saying.
Then be quiet.
You haven't said which car wash you work at.
You know what? The only problem with trying to talk to someone like you is you are so sick.
Pam, go ahead. I'm listening.
And depraved.
I'm listening to you, Pam. Go ahead.
Thank you. You're so sick and depraved that you don't even know that what you're doing is sick.
No, ma'am. I'm trying to help young women who have survived an arduous journey.
You're not helping anybody.
They survived an arduous journey over the Anza-Borrega Desert, and I'm trying to give them an opportunity to provide some comfort for our Coast Guard personnel.
Oh, you know what? That is the biggest bunch of bullcrap I have ever heard.
These young men that are going off to fight in Iraq.
You can honestly say you believe that?
Wait a second. I want to jump in here, Dean. The Coast Guard doesn't fight in Iraq. It stays on the coast. It's called the Coast Guard.
And I want to tell you something else. Don't you talk about our guys in Iraq, because my son is a Marine, and he went there, and you know what? He doesn't expect anything from any woman, because he went and fought for his country or to free other people, and you know, he frees people and you make them slaves.
Well, ma'am, I'm sorry that your son is fighting for George Bush in this illegal war.
You know what? Don't be sorry. Do not be sorry. Do not be sorry. My son is helping free people.
Can I tell you a great story?
You are making people slaves.
Let me tell you a great story. Her name was Rosalie. She went back to Mexico last month. At the age of 14, she had made over $10,000 working for us.
At the age of 14? Is that what I just heard you say?
You are so sick and depraved. I cannot believe that.
I don't understand.
A 14-year-old girl?
She got well to the tune of $10,000.
Oh, that's really well.
You know something, Pam?
You know what?
You know what, Pam? When John Kerry becomes president,
you
put a 14-year-old
young
to work?
girl's life.
$10,000? I destroyed her life. You can buy Mexico City with that kind of money.
She probably could have been somebody great, but now
you write her off.
You have made her. You're so
now you write her off. Now you're just going to throw her away.
You have ruined her.
Ma'am, I will tell you, she's the most popular senorita in her town.
You know what? I'm just glad that I really am not the judge, because if you ever make it as far as being judged, I don't want to be in your shoes.
Whatever.
Well, what is whatever supposed to mean?
You're sick.
What is whatever supposed to mean?
Whatever.
It means he doesn't have any way to defend himself.
You got no answer to that.
Whatever.
Okay, whatever. You know, Mr. Wheeler, you mentioned John Kerry.
Yeah, I'm a very big supporter of John Kerry, and he's not so uptight.
A lot of stuff right there.
He's not so uptight sexually, because we're liberal Democrats.
Oh, so we put 14-year-olds to work in whorehouses. Send them back to Mexico with 10 G's in her pocket, and that makes him the most popular senorita in town, huh?
You know what? I don't like Kerry, but I'll tell you what, I bet he would even be sickened that you are something that would support him.
But wait a second. John Kerry and I have exchanged emails, so don't...
Bull crap you have. I bet you've been talking to some guy that calls himself John. You sure it ain't Drew Kerry?
I don't appreciate you people laughing at me while I'm doing a public service, keeping these senioritas from being bleached in the sun.
Service.
Yeah.
That is enslavement, and it is being a pimp and making 14-year-olds be prostitutes. How can you say you're doing a service? That is so depraved.
Okay, Pam. All right, great. You know, I bet your husband really has a great time with you. Jeez.
You know what? That is really none of your business.
Well, I'd like to know. I want specifics on your sex life.
Well, you're not going to get them. Don't give it. All right, listen, I'm going to let you go, Pam. Thank you. 1-800-449-8686.
Just as I was getting to the good stuff, you wouldn't let me.
No, I'm not going to have you querying my listeners. Tracy, hi, you're on the Phil Hendry Show with Dean Wheeler.
Hi, Mr. Henry and Mr. Wheeler. How are you guys?
Yes, we're fine tonight. How are you?
Excellent, thank you.
Great.
You know, I just here's something I want to say. I know, Mr. Wheeler, you said that you wanted to have someone that you could have a conversation with.
Absolutely, yes.
And I would love to be able to engage.
I've been assaulted by people who are obviously looking to bait me, and I'm not trying to do that.
Well, but you know, you have to understand too that you don't really sound like you have a leg to stand on. The way that you're talking about women and what these Mexican women would prefer. First of all, I don't even know that you've asked them. Would they prefer dying in the desert trying to cross the border, or would they prefer having sex with a bunch of men? Because
oh my God, you really honestly think I'm going to lay that choice on women who want a drop of water? I'm going to give them the water. I'm going to give them the.
You know what? I don't.
Yeah, but they don't know what the price is.
I don't think you would give them that choice. And I think if you were running a legitimate business and a legitimate a business that you're trying to lend civil rights to women, that you would give them the option. And if they said, you know what, I would really feel better for my soul if I cleaned toilets for a living. You know what, let them do it.
Are you honestly trying to tell me that while the sun bakes them in the ends of Borrega, while the coyote is watching from the hillside, I'm going to say, okay, here's the choice. You get this drink of water if you work as a prostitute, otherwise I'm going to leave you here to die. No, Tracy, I'm not that heartless. No, I have morals.
Because, you know what,
I have morals.
Now, I do have to say, I have never crossed a border.
I'm more higher up than you on the morality plane, I'm afraid.
You're higher up than me on the morality plane?
Yes, ma'am, I believe that I am, that you would make a woman beg for water. So what is it? What is it? Is it going to be work, or are you going to get the water? No, I don't do that.
Well, you know what?
And when John Kerry's elected president, we won't have to deal with it.
You and John Kerry can continue sending emails back and forth. But you know what? If you were to find me in the desert and I knew who you were, I would say, you know, thanks, but no thanks. Please move on.
Easy for you to say.
No, honestly.
Tracy, I guarantee by 6 o'clock that night I'd have you in a big print Mexican dress.
You know what?
And you'd be serving margaritas to the Coast Guard.
No, you know what? That's easy.
I've never been in that position, and so I don't know what decision I would make, but I can honestly say sitting here that, yes, I would not make that decision,
Tracy,
and I think you need to give the option to the women, because there are other ways.
I would have you in purple lipstick by 8 o'clock.
Well, you know.
Yeah, well.
I don't think so.
You know what? I'll tell you this, Mr. Wheeler. Win or lose, whatever, you, sir, are going to have to answer sometime in life to the lives that you've destroyed.
Well, why don't you go down to where the hot tortillas cook in the oil?
Well, you know what? You're not even really making sense with your argument.
Well, you know what? He hung up. He hung up.
Oh, okay.
He hung up.
Sorry.
It's all right.
Well, thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Go down to where the tortillas cook in the hot oil? See, these are the things that, to my way of thinking, you don't, even if you're saving someone's life, you don't, what do you want? You just hung up on me.
John Kerry is going to be elected El Presidente, and you will be love slave number one, Tracy. Is she still there?
No, she hung up.
Why?
Because you hung up.
Well, that doesn't mean she's supposed to hang up.
Well, she hung up because you hung up.
You know what? Why don't you go right straight down to where they make all that hot sauce?
Weak. Very weak. 1-800-449-8686. And, you know, I can tell you...
Oh, go eat a chili pepper.
It's the Phil Hendry Show.
The Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. The last gasp before the death of radio. 449-8686. The Phil Hendry Show is back.
Well, if you thought Dean Wheeler was funny, wait till you hear...
Internationally recognized, critically acclaimed, world-famous Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686.
Ted's of Beverly Hills Steakhouse. Come on down.
Hi, everybody, come down here to Ted's Beverly Hills. We've got a great weekend dinner for you. I'm in the middle of my daughter's tennis tournament, so pardon me if I'm speaking too softly. Come to my restaurant, please.
We want to put our meat in your...
Ted Bell joins us on the Phil Hendry Show. Are you serious? You're at your daughter's tennis game, huh?
I actually am, Phil. She is in the junior finals for our local... one of the local tennis organizations here, which has worked with the kids here for a long time, California Youth Sports, and she's doing a great job here. And I'm sorry to be on your program to talk to you about these things tonight, but I also do want to see my daughter. But I want to talk to you about illegal immigration in the state and in the country because it's a very serious thing.
Well, you've been talking with Jack Armbruster with the State Planning Commission on illegal immigration, and that you have some solutions for it, is what you basically said. I don't know if anybody has the one solution.
Well, we do need a viable solution to illegal immigration, but we have millions of American families that do rely on, to some extent, illegal immigration
Well, give me an example of what you're talking about. You're not talking about farm workers, are you?
No, that question doesn't concern. But what does concern me is, for instance, we have 2 women who come to clean our home twice a week. They do an 8,500 square foot home, and that includes folding laundry and preparing some of our lunches. And they provide this service for about $150, $175 a week. You hire an American, it's going to cost you 3 times that amount.
Well, understood, but that job at least is being done by an American.
But if you separate the sentimentality from your argument, you have to understand that because of the income that I make, because we need our home managed. See, I guess what most people don't understand, whereas most of your listeners probably take care of their own homes, our home is big enough whereby we need it managed. We have a gal who lives with us. She does the grocery shopping. She collects our mail. She answers the house phone. She can pick up our dry cleaning. That job, if you hired an American, might be a $50,000, $60,000 a year job. This older gal we have, she is from the Mexico areas, and we pay her $300 a week. The other factor is that you are doing a world of good for these people because they're living like royalty up here.
But the fact that they are illegal, Ted, the fact that they're unmonitored, the fact that they're unchecked, that they're undocumented, they are here without the knowledge of immigration, right? During these times of fears of terrorism is very dangerous.
Well, you're talking about terrorism, and I understand those concerns. I'm not saying let all the illegals in.
Well, then what is your stand?
Well, my stand is that we allow in a quota of domestic and household workers, people who traditionally work for families like mine, cleaning, shopping, home maintenance, gardening, childcare, cooking, and so forth. What we need, so it becomes a little easier to understand for the average person, we need to spell it out in some kind of a rider to the Immigration Act. If your household income, is above a certain level, you can access a prescribed number of illegal immigrants for domestic work. Families like mine who need nannies, we need drivers, we need laundry done.
Your home is that large and involved?
Well, my income allows my wife to not have to work. She's involved in a number of social groups. I guess I'm getting way over the heads of a lot of your listeners when I talk about this. My wife, because of my income, doesn't have to work, and she has time to involve herself with her girlfriends in the things that they do. And so we need at least 2 nannies for our youngest. We also need someone to cook, and of course, housekeeping and cleaning. I hope the women listening to your show get what I'm saying. If my wife is getting a spa treatment, or she is at a luncheon for one of our charity groups here in Beverly Hills, and she's having a beauty treatment and so forth, we need these Mexicans to fill in and do the jobs.
But the fact of the matter is, Ted, that it is still an illegal group.
But it's not a large group. Most American families can't afford and don't even know what it is I'm talking about. I will tell you this. If we go ahead with some of the proposed legislation to inhibit illegal immigration, you're going to cause a great many families who rely on this workforce for maid service and gardening, and these things can cause a terrible hardship. But we're talking about the needs of families like mine for private chefs, butler services, valets and drivers, nannies, maids, and ladies-in-waiting.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. We're talking with Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills, and we're talking about the need that some families of a higher income may have to still have illegal immigrants coming here, whether they be for... Most of this is domestic, correct, Ted?
Most of it is domestic work, absolutely. It is the need of, as I said, in fact, all of it is domestic work.
But they're still illegal, and you have a lot of Americans who are going to have to suffer the cost of police services, Americans who are going to have to suffer perhaps the cost of whatever social supports these illegal immigrants need. And the reason why we're living in the country is for you and your family.
We have a need for these people. Do you understand that my family, we employ butlers, we have a driver. This is very hard to explain to the average American, and because the average American doesn't have a butler and they don't have a driver, they don't have a valet. We have a guy that goes and picks our laundry up. We have a woman who cooks our meals. We have gardeners. Certainly, we have a nanny who takes care of Kimberly, who is our youngest. We have, certainly, as I mentioned, a maid and a lady-in-waiting for my wife. These are necessary for a large house. We rely upon going down to a lot of parking lots here in the Beverly Hills area to hire a lot of these people.
Why not go for the legal, as you say, butler or valet? Why can't you?
It's difficult to explain. You're going to get an American They have a lot of attitude.
They cost a lot of money, too, don't they?
Well, it's not the money. It's not the money. I can afford to hire an American worker. What I'm looking for is quality of work. And
so you're saying that an illegal Mexican immigrant is a better quality worker when it comes to... Give me one of these jobs again.
Well, for instance, I have a guy who is... we have a butler who helps us during parties. He's from Mexico, and he is respectful. He is a very nice gentleman. He has a sense of humor. Yes, you're right. He doesn't work for a lot of money. But if I hire an American, he's going to, talk back. He's going to give opinions that I don't want to hear. He's going to talk to me as if, as if I'm his equal or something. I mean, I'm his employer. I'm not his equal. Again, if you stop illegal immigration, you are going to be hurting irreparably families that need butlers.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills on the subject of illegal immigration. You're working with Jack Armbruster with the State Planning Commission so that there is a quota of illegal immigrants allowed into the country. Is that correct, Ted?
That is correct, yeah.
A quota allowed into the country for families such as your own, high-income families who need the services of maids and valets. Correct?
That is correct, absolutely, Bill. And if we can, and again, it's a difficult sell because you have to sell this to the average American as well who doesn't understand, and they're a little bit, a lot of them are jealous of you because you have money, But if I can convince the average American that it's something that they don't really get, and just to take my word for it, I think we can have something that is going to be finally a workable immigration solution.
All right, 1-800-449-8686 with Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills. Here is Carla. Carla, go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to respond to this caller. I would like to say I don't think that we're envious of his lifestyle. I think that it's wonderful that he can afford all that and that his wife doesn't have to work. But when I was sitting there listening to him, my first thought was, if he does have that income, living in Beverly Hills, he has money for all of his staff, then he has the money to pay for legal people and to take out their taxes.
Absolutely. I won't disagree with you, ma'am. I
totally agree that we need to do something with the immigration problem, and somebody with that income can handle the taxes.
Well, here's the thing. I'm not worried about the taxes, Carla. What I'm worried about more than anything else, you get a quality of worker from Mexico who is deferential and respectful. When you are giving a party for some, let's say, 150 people who are intimates from the independent film industry, because I'm very active in it, and you have an American bartender or butler who is lipping back and acting as if you and he go golfing together, I don't know if you can grasp this, but it really tightens my jaw. It makes me want to swing on him.
No, I totally agree. My husband and I own property in Jamaica.
Okay,
I go every year.
Oh, the blacks down there are great.
It's the same thing with Jamaica, but that's a problem we have in the United States, and I think that what we need to do is address that problem.
Are you saying, Ted, that the American worker is not a of this kind of worker?
Yeah, the domestic worker.
All right, is not a deferential.
No, you get like Carla knows. In Jamaica, you get these. Well, I don't know about the Jamaicans, Carla. I hear that they are. I've never thought the Jamaican was very deferential. Do you find that to be the case?
The ones that work in the hotel and the industry, the ones that realize how important tourism there is to their economy, yes.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But I just, until we can begin to train the American domestic worker to act accordingly, this is going to be a hardship on those of us who need nannies and butlers. Like I said, we've got a butler now. He's great. I can tell him to go get me a drink. I don't have to say please, and I don't have to ask him to sit down and drink with me either. So it's wonderful.
Then help him get his green card. Help him be legal.
You know what? That is not my job. That's his job.
Well, wait. That's his job?
Well, what do you want me to do? I can't help him get a green card.
Well, a lot of times they don't know the process to go through to do it.
Well, I got a lot I got to do.
All right, Carla, thank you very much. 1-800-449-8686. Ted from Ted's of Beverly Hills joins us. The illegal immigration problem in this country is in large part because of the fact that so many of them come here as domestic workers for wealthy families. Mr. Bell is a wealthy American who believes that he should still be allowed to keep his illegal Mexican workers. He hires some as butlers. I think he said butler services, maids, nannies, ladies in waiting, and valets. And he does not want to have to part with them. He says the Mexican worker is more deferential. As a domestic, they are more respectful. Americans, quote, lip back and certainly work for a lot more money. Should we allow wealthy American families to access illegal immigrants even while we keep the rest of the illegals out? 1-800-449-8686. Ted Bell is the owner, by the way, of Ted's of Beverly Hills. They are not paying for this airtime tonight. Ted is an independent businessman on my program this evening. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show.
Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. Going straight to the hot place. 1-800-449-8686.
I'm talking with Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills. I know you're in the middle of your daughter's tennis match there, Ted, at the junior club in Beverly Hills, but I do want to continue our discussion here of illegal immigration. You are in favor of a bill introduced that would allow a limited quota of illegals who work for, well, how do you put it, high-income families?
Phil, I just put a plug in for my daughter Amber, who just won in straight sets over this young, this black kid. She's a very talented kid, but Amber just won her. We're very proud of her. I want to say this. First of all, I have nothing against hiring American labor for the things that I need. People to cook and clean the toilets or this kind of thing. The problem is the Mexican is more thorough. As they clean better, they'll do jobs that Americans refuse to do because Americans we've been soft. We've gotten soft. We won't get in and scrub a toilet out the way a Mexican will do it. And I don't mean to demean them. And
well, it's a pretty demeaning job, isn't it?
But the fact of the matter is, Phil, they're living better than they ever would live in Mexico. The number two thing that I want you to remember is I cannot afford, technically I can't afford the process it would take to get these people green cards. We have a lot of high-tech security on our property because while I love employing the Mexican, they do steal. And so we have to have surveillance cameras, and that costs. And I cannot put that revenue into helping these people get green cards as long as I have to be wary of the fact that they're stealing from me. Now, that's not as bad. We had Jamaicans. 2 years ago, I had a Jamaican butler, and I had a Jamaican woman who scrubbed out a toilet for me, and boy, they stole. Oh, you've never seen people steal the way Jamaicans do. But the Mexicans are pretty good. But I still have to keep in the security equipment.
If you hired Americans, would you need security equipment?
I think you would. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but some people search their whole lives trying to find out what they're good at and what they're meant to do. The Mexican knows.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. We're talking about domestic help, illegal domestic help. Here is Judith. Go ahead, Judith. You're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Thank you.
Yes.
Sir, I just have a couple of comments, and I'm trying to comprehend your point of view.
Yes.
But you have such a condescending attitude, one, towards the average working American. If you're so into Mexicans getting to do your toilet or to go run your groceries or watch your kids because you don't have the time because your wife is having her face done, why don't you just get a legal Mexican, one that has the green card? Why are you breaking the law just to pamper yourself?
Well, no, because the legal Mexican, they get snapped up immediately by the racetracks. They do a lot of farm work. Those ones immediately go up to the fields. The ones that have the green card are up in the onion fields right now, picking lettuce or whatever they do. I don't mean to be condescending to the average American worker. I'm simply saying if I could get well, do you know what?
Very condescending. You don't like blacks, Jamaican blacks.
No, ma'am.
Because you say they steal from you.
I didn't say blacks. I said Jamaicans. I didn't say blacks.
Okay, well, whatever. You're very nationalistic.
Well, ma'am,
But you have issues, though, sir. And if you're rearing your child to be like you, oh, my goodness, if we all don't make money and clean toilets well, then we're not good people.
Well, ma'am, I tried to be condescending. My daughter Amber is going to have the best of everything. Right now,
She's kicking hell out of this little Chinese gal.
You've already said the little black girl she won from, and now it's the little Chinese girl. You have issues with people of color, and you have issues with people that don't have a Beverly Hills 90210.
No, I most certainly do not. I'm just saying I have a need for a certain kind of worker. For instance, I imagine.
You have a need for some, and then wait. The best
can I ask you where do you live?
Where that you said was you don't say thank you to people. Oh my goodness, is that what you're rearing your child to do? Not to say thank you for anything?
Can I tell you, Judith, I once hired a gal from the Van Nuys area to clean our home, and you know what? She left mold on the tub grout. The Mexicans would never do that.
The tub is that dirty, and you and your wife are dirty people.
Judith,
you never go to the toilet, and you don't clean up after yourself.
Judith, the fact is, I have worked my entire life.
Pray for you tonight.
I have worked my entire life. Not to have to do these things.
You have other people working for you.
Well, I don't know if you understand what it is to have someone cleaning your home for you.
I've had people clean my home. Thank you very much. And I can clean my home just as well as anybody else.
Then why would you have somebody else do it? Gotcha. How do you like me now?
It's true. I don't
what's up now?
8,000 square foot home.
That's right. Try cleaning one of those by yourself. That's why we hire the very industrious Mexican from the Guadalajara area.
A police person is listening so they can do a sweep at your house.
Well, Judith, let me tell you what. I bet you if your family actually hired a Mexican to clean your house, I bet you. Well, dear, if you ever cleaned your house, they'd probably never recognize it.
Well, you know what, sweetie, if that was
all right, look, I don't know what we're talking about here.
Because I'm talking about butlers, and the only thing she knows about a butler, she thinks a butler is a sex act. I believe that in my... I think, well, that's what you and your husband are into.
Okay, this is not helping at all.
I'm not condescending to anybody. I work for a living. Let me tell you, my name is Ted Bell. My name's Ted Bell. I own a steakhouse, okay? I may be a sad little man, but at least I've got a clean toilet, okay? Look, I don't have to go outside to go to the bathroom. Thank you.
All right, okay. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a break and let everyone kind of calm down because what we have here is an extremely emotional issue about immigration. And we're talking with a gentleman by the name of Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills, who is... Why are we playing the commercial now, bud?
We have to. It's time for his commercial.
Ted's of Beverly Hills Steakhouse. Come on down.
Hey, my daughter is winning in straight sets over this little Chinese girl. I just want you all to know to come down to Ted's of Beverly Hills. And we've got a nice backhand there. Look at that. And down to the net. Beautiful, Amber. Beautiful.
We want to put our meat in your...
Don't ever interrupt me when I'm talking again.
We had to do the commercial.
I don't care. Ted Bell with us from Ted's of Beverly Hills on illegal immigration. Should we allow a quota of illegal immigrants to continue into this country working for wealthy people such as Mr. Bell who need butlers? 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show.
Phil Hendry Show. 1-800-449-8686. Pull your head out of your ass. Plug into the world.
And now more on The Phil Hendry Show.
Ted's of Beverly Hills Steakhouse. Come on down.
Hey, everybody. Ted from Ted's of Beverly Hills. Just want to tell you my daughter Amber Bell has advanced to the junior finals of the Southern California Junior Tennis Championships tonight at Beverly Hills Tennis Club. Very proud of her from Ted's of Beverly Hills.
We want to put our meat in your...
Phil Hendry with Ted Bell. Thank you, Ted, for being with us. And I know your restaurant is certainly sponsoring part of this hour, but I do have to ask you the hard questions.
Well, that goes two ways. Remember that I'm paying for this airtime, and I want to be heard on the immigration issue, Phil. And it's most important that I let people know. I am not trying to condescend to the average American worker, and I'm not trying to say that Americans don't work hard. I'm simply saying that those of us who have income have a serious need for people to open and close car doors for us, and this kind of thing. It's something that comes with the territory. I need to have someone there who can lay my clothes out for me. And many of us do not. That's another great. I can't help but glowing for my daughter. She just aced another serve. But unless you've had your clothes laid out for you,
you don't understand the need that a lot of us have, because I attend a lot of social events.
So you want to still have your illegal workers, but no others?
Well, for families...
People of your income get to have your... You say... I'm trying to look at the list of services that you sent to the state. Ladies in waiting, maids, nannies, drivers, valets, and butlers.
That is correct, yes.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Dorothy is on the air on the Phil Hendry Show with Ted Bell. Go ahead, Dorothy.
Well, hello there.
Yes, Dorothy.
You're a man I pity. You're totally uncivilized.
Oh, look at that. My daughter just aged another serve.
Oh, yes. Well, you've got to see them all. You're
whatever that meant.
You're arrogant. And I think
I'm rich.
That, you are...
And I'm rich.
Well,
and because of that, you don't like me.
I gathered that.
No, because
you didn't
of that,
leave that to anyone's imagination.
I'm
and
Ted
because
Bell.
you're not able to pick out your own clothes. You have the money to have somebody do it for you.
No,
and
no, I'm busy. I'm too busy to get my own underwear out of the drawer.
I'm sure. Well, I'll tell you one thing. I'm sure we're never going to meet because I happen to be a Christian, and someone like yourself is never going to get there. Your attitude towards other people...
I'm never going to get to Bethlehem, Pennsylvania?
No, you're never going to get
I don't understand.
No, you're never...
Dorothy,
I know you wouldn't understand.
I'm not trying to say that I'm better than you. I'm simply saying...
I know you think you're better than me.
I should allow...
But that's by your own measurement.
Why don't I get to have a Mexican?
I have been in the company of people far more important, more polite, as well as being important, and that really care about people. You only care about people that you can use and that have as much or more money.
I think you've got the wrong impression of me.
No,
my name's Ted Bell. I have one of the top steakhouses in Beverly Hills.
Yeah, well,
Dorothy, with all due respect, when the volcano hit your home in Pompeii, you would have hired the Mexican to clean it up.
Oh.
And what I'm trying to say...
So is that a crack about how old she is?
Aren't we both lucky we don't live in Pompeii?
Yeah, but you were there. You saw the volcano go, and I'm just saying, if the Mexicans were there...
What are you doing? You making a crack about her age?
And I've also spent a lot of time in Mexico, and let me tell you, I have
we vacation there every year.
I have met people as wealthy or far wealthier than you are, and they all had manners.
Dorothy, I have manners, but I'm talking about the immigration problem here.
You put on...
Have you ever had your clothes laid out for you?
Yes, I have.
You have. Then you should know what I'm talking about. You know the need to have...
What you're talking about, sir.
You know what I'm saying. When the maid comes in, pulls that large pair of underwear out, lays it on the bed. These are the things that, for me...
You know what? I heard all that.
I have to jump in.
I called. I don't need... If they were so important... and so on and so forth, you wouldn't have to keep repeating it and repeating it.
No, I'm having to repeat it because no one understands what I'm talking about.
No, that's right, because you're in a totally different stratosphere that is totally of your making.
Are you a maid or have you ever had a maid?
Have I?
Do you know what a butler is? Of course you do. A butler, what are you laughing at?
You.
You know something, Dorothy? I pity you because you think a butler. You think a butler is a kind of underwear.
You don't. You have no idea what I need.
I have to go.
I'll tell you what you need.
What you need. What I don't have.
What you need dances in Beverly Hills and wears a little, it has no shirt on. That's what you need. Look, I bet you used a bidet as a water fountain. I'm kidding, of course.
You are. You're kidding, but you have a
bidet as a water fountain.
Sir.
Well, I'm just...
All right.
Yes,
Dorothy,
you do.
Thank you very much, Dorothy. I got to run.
Phil, there's no point in talking to a lot of these people. They don't want to hear the truth. And the truth is, yes, I'm wealthier than them. Yes, I need to have someone who lays my underwear out. Yes, all of these things. Does that mean I should be hated? No. Yes, my daughter's a great tennis player, and yes, my wife has spa treatments. I still need what I need. But
the average taxpayer's got to pick up the cost of you getting an illegal Mexican, and still you say you have to pay for security equipment.
Well, that's just it. I still have to. What I'd like is some kind of a tax write-off for the security cameras I have to purchase to make sure they don't steal.
So you want to hire illegal Mexican immigrants and then get security equipment to make sure they're not stealing and have that tax exempt?
Yes, exactly.
1-800-449-8686. George, go ahead. You're on the Phil Hendry Show.
Well, I'm almost laughing too hard to talk. This guy can't for real. I mean...
you know what? Because I have certain business needs, sir, doesn't mean that it's far beyond your experience, okay?
Listen, don't talk to me about experience. I'm 63 years old, man.
Okay, so you've lived about 30 years longer than me.
To Mexican people, with Mexican people, for 31 years. I had good friends from Mexico.
Then you know they make good butlers.
Listen to me. I lived in Arizona for over 51 years.
Oh, look at that backhand.
Will you listen to this man and not watch your daughter's backhand?
Aliens come up over the border. They call them wetbacks, if you didn't know that.
I'm not familiar with the term.
Take residence in the migrant camps along with their kids. And guess who had to pay?
What's this got to do with me?
To go to school.
What's this got to do with me?
The tax.
The man's saying that the taxpayer has to pay.
Why doesn't your wife get off her duff and do a little work around the house?
Excuse me, sir, but my wife is married to a wealthy man. She doesn't have to. Now she has cocktails and she does spa treatments and everything.
Some good to come down to earth and not act like you're so far above everybody that you don't know what life is.
Look at George, you're the kind of guy I used to hire to wrangle my thoroughbreds for me. Okay, so just stick to what you know. My wife is a woman.
Well, this is why people have got to.
Glad I don't know you.
Well, sir, if you did know me, you'd be sleeping in a bunkhouse anyway. But at least you'd be making a little bit more than you're making now. And I can tell you that...
What? See, this is why people are having a hard time with you, Ted. You're condescending to people.
Well, he said that my wife ought to get up off of her big fat ass and do work. Let me just say, Phil, I'm sorry that his wife has to clean grease traps in restaurants. Mine doesn't. That's the big difference. I'm Ted Bell.
Is that it? It appears he's hung up. Yes, sir.
Ted's of Beverly Hills Steakhouse. Come on down.
Hey, everybody, remember, my wife doesn't have to clean grease traps in restaurants. Yours does. I'm Ted Bell. Ow! Watch where you put that pot.
Here at Ted's, we want to put our meat in your...
We want to put our meat in your beep? I would assume that the other word would be beeped. Anyway, that's Ted Bell from Ted's of Beverly Hills on his solution to the immigration problem. Keep them all out, except the ones he needs as butlers and wranglers. 1-800-449-8686. Coming up tonight, later on, Bob Green of Fraser Foods will join us. On Monday night, the Tim Robbins Report. Tim Robbins, the Hollywood actor, to give us an update on how Nazified and repressive and how police state-ish America has become. Tuesday night, Margaret Gray's Campaign 2004 report. And then, of course, Wednesday night, Jay Santos of the Citizens Auxiliary Police. This is the Phil Hendry Show, where we are solely responsible for our content.
The Phil Hendry Show, 1-800-449-8686. Survivor Compton.
Gives this the real emotional core it needs.
What about the fact they could die?
That's something that we're still working on. But I believe this is $1 million idea. I honestly believe that.
$1 million idea, and you'd get sponsors and everything.
And you said yourself that we would.
I did. I'm just saying, I wonder if there's some sort of moral obligation we have here. That's all I'm saying. Jolie on the Phil Hendry Show. Hello.
Hi, I have a question for Mr. Rifkin.
Yes. Who's this? Jolie?
This is Jolie.
Yes, Jolie. Brad Rifkin.
Hi, how are you?
How are you?
Great. I am an 18-year-old high school student at the Woodlands High School in Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
I just wondered what you're going to tell me and my family and my peers when you're promoting violence with children on TV. When someone comes into school and shoots people up and they say, oh, well, it's on TV and it's for real on TV. This isn't pretend anymore. This isn't a cartoon anymore, and this isn't a movie anymore. This is real,
Jolie,
and it's okay now.
Jolie's upset.
I understand. I can hear you're upset, Jolie, and I want to say something to you that's going to make you feel better. Imagine somebody coming into your school with a gun, all right?
Uh-huh.
and you happen to have in your knapsack a Ruger 9mm, 15-shot clip, and you grease this guy from about 50 feet away and he doesn't know what hit him, how are you going to feel? I'll tell you how you're going to feel. Pretty good. That guy's lying in a pool of blood.
What are you talking about?
Can I please tell you how I'm going to feel?
You're going to feel great, Julie.
What are you doing?
Can I please tell you how I'm going to feel?
She's crying.
Wait, you won't cry?
I am a Christian girl, and it hurts me every single time that I see that these kids have so much pain
Jolie.
That they can you please listen to me, because I'm going to give you the same respect when you talk.
Okay,
please, sir.
but a lot of Christians are in the NRA.
Will you shut up?
I'm
Go
asking
ahead.
you very nicely.
Go ahead, Jolie.
All right, but
It hurts me so bad to think that someone my age, even younger, what was it, like 5th grade at that school in, I don't know where it was in the South, it was that young.
I don't think it was that young. I think they were like 6th grade or 7th grade.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. They were young. They feel like there's so much pain in their life, and they feel because of people that say it's okay to leave someone lying in a pool of blood. Well, it's not, sir. I mean, how would you feel if you were that person? And how would you feel if do you have kids?
Do I have kids?
Do you have kids?
It's not come into my life as of yet. I'm very
Do you have
career.
nieces or nephews?
I'm career-oriented. No, I do not. I don't know who my parents were.
Okay, well, I'm really sorry about that.
Well, that's okay. I
But
was raised by an uncle, and he was a bookmaker.
I just feel like if you put this on TV and you say
What?
that basically you're broadcasting to these kids because, I mean, they take from Pokemon and Power Rangers that it's okay to do Kung Fu. What do you think they're going to take from going on national television and killing a man? I don't care how many kids he killed. And I do agree. He should have a very gruesome death. I agree he should be buried under piles of concrete, but not
Jolie.
televised and not killed by innocent kids.
Jolie, this is Phil Henry, and I want to say that was very well said.
Thank you.
Jolie, I missed it. Brad Rifkin here. Would it make you feel better if I sent you a couple of tickets to come to see the McVeigh shootout? Then you'd see, okay?
No.
And
what do you mean, come and see it?
I can throw in some 3D glasses. And
she just got done telling you she didn't want to go see the thing.
I mean, I don't understand how you think anybody would, and even if they did, and I understand what you said, Mr. Henry, earlier about how you would watch it and be angry with yourself.
Yeah, well, sort of.
But
Mr. Henry said he would.
Have you ever seen The Running Man? I mean, it feels like, seriously, I never thought, when I saw that movie.
Jolie, did you ever see the video of that guy who blew his brains out on the Marina Freeway in L.A.?
No.
It was...
Oh,
God.
I'm 18 years old.
How can you
and
say...
I mean...
If you've never seen it, how do you know you wouldn't like it?
Will you stop it?
Because I've seen it. I don't even like to go to scary movies.
Oh, yeah?
I mean, seriously. I mean, it's horrible because, I mean, what's the world coming to if the United States of America promotes these kind of things? I mean...
Did you ever see the movie, The Exorcist?
The Exorcist. I
Yeah.
hate that movie.
It's pretty...
I saw it last year for the very first time.
Yeah, but see, here's the point I want to make.
Sleep.
There's no way a kid gets ahead all the way around like that. See, you don't believe that stuff, see?
I know, but you do believe it. You do believe it.
You believe the
when
kid
it
can get
happens
ahead
for
all the way...
real. You do believe it when it happens for real. I know that was the fact, but it still scared me.
No kid can get ahead.
You do believe it when it happens.
No kid can get ahead around like...
Can't you hear that this young lady is upset? That she's...
Nobody can twist their head around.
Forget about twisting the head around. She's upset by the prospect of a violent... You know, Jolie, life is like a camera. You know what I mean by that?
It is.
It means you have to get your lens in focus. And I think if you're too scared about violence in our country, while the news media likes to play it up, while the networks like to play it up, that tends to make your lens get out of focus, and you focus only on the violent things, and you don't know that, as the poet said, everywhere life is full of heroism. And
Yay.
It's true. And how do we convey this to people when we're putting this kind of
Isn't that pretty?
And
hey, Jolie, did you ever see Bambi?
Okay, you know something?
You want to know how I feel?
Did you see Godzilla meets Bambi? He freaking crushes and is squished it all over. Bambi was all over.
I know.
Yeah.
Would you please... Okay,
What?
You want to know how I feel right now?
How do you feel?
I feel like I live in a protective bubble. I feel like I am safe in the United States to an extent. I know that's not an entirely true statement, but I feel like I am in the best possible place I could be.
What city do you live in, dear?
I'm not done, sir.
What city do you live in? I just want to ask
I
you.
live in Houston, Texas.
All right, you're not in the best possible place.
Okay,
Will you stop it?
Let me look.
All right.
I also feel like just the mere mention. I mean, do you know how many psychos you are reaching right now that are listening to this program right now thinking, that's a good idea, but why do we need permission for it? Why can't we just do it on our own? Why can't we just have these kids do this on our own?
How about and I don't mean anything by this, but do you want to do dinner or, you know?
She's 18.
That's legal.
Okay.
Dinner.
First of all, I would very much like to discuss this with you over dinner, but my dad was listening to the show too, and he's even more upset about it than I am. So that probably wouldn't be a good idea on your part.
Oh, you mean he'd like kick my ass?
Oh, pretty much.
Okay, that sucks.
I mean, and that's how all people are going to feel. I mean, can you, tomorrow when you go to the grocery store or when you go to work, if you have a job yet, you know, people are going to look at you and be like, what the hell is this guy's problem? Because
why don't you put your father on? Hey, Jolie, why don't you put your father on the line?
Because I don't want to put my father on. I'm talking right now.
Well, I know, but I'd like to ask permission to take you out to dinner.
I don't want to.
You're 53 years old.
Okay,
She's 18. Will you come on?
Well, how about you
gotta
ask
give
me
it a shot.
permission? And the answer is no.
Hey,
because
Jolie.
I will not associate with a person who will put children on live television to kill a man. I know Timothy McVeigh's evil, but even...
What if I let you do it?
What if you let me do it?
I like you. I like your energy.
You know, if I was going to shoot anybody, and it's getting pretty close to it, you know, if you were going to let me shoot anybody, if it could be you, I mean, please.
That hurts.
I'm sorry, but
I'm
it hurts
sorry.
me, too, that you're corrupting my
You're hurting
society.
me, Jolie. You're hurting me, Jolie.
I'm sorry.
I'm giving you the chance to grease McVeigh. I like your energy. I don't
want to grease anybody.
Have you thought about... You don't want to grease...
Did you have a horrible childhood?
Well, I had a great childhood. My uncle was a bookie. He raised me.
Well, that's...
And,
Your uncle was a bookie. Where?
That's such a surprise.
I'm from East New York. I'm from a place called Alphabet City, New York.
Uh-huh.
How about... never mind.
Okay, can you imagine something for me?
Okay.
Imagine you had
This is
children.
like...
Imagine you had an 18-year-old daughter.
Hey, can I ask a question? Am I facilitating a conversation? Because it sounds to me like you guys are on a date already and you're talking over dinner.
You want to host... Do you want to host the Timothy McVeigh Shootout Special?
Okay. That's great. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendry Show. Called 449-8686. I'm going to get Jolie back here with me because she was upset when she called the show originally, and Mike talked to her during the break. How are you, Jolie?
I'm good. I'm actually quite relieved.
Yeah, because you were really upset, and Mike explained to you how we do this radio show.
Yeah.
And,
oh, God.
And having found out all of that, Jolie, would you like to have dinner with me? No, I'm kidding. The idea of you being really upset, ordinarily when someone calls like that, I'm thinking, oh, this is fantastic. But you were genuinely moved.
I was. I mean, I didn't understand how a person could possibly think that, and at the same time, how they could possibly think that and call a radio station and tell something about it. I mean, I was like, he obviously was provoking. He obviously wanted someone to say something because, oh my God.
And now you know that there really isn't anybody like that. I made him up.
But still, you know what, though? On your part, that's setting a very bad precedent because now some psycho heard that and he's going to do it.
Well, here's the thing. Some psycho's going to shoot Timothy McVeigh? Well, I guess there have been worse crimes.
I mean, someone has that idea now. It's just like... But
here's the thing. A lot of the things that the character, as done by me, was saying to you were really absurd things.
They were. I was I didn't understand how someone could possibly... That's part of the reason why I called.
Yeah.
Because he was saying some things that were just like...
But you know something? Here's an interesting thing. People are, and especially in America, we really live in a copycat culture here in America.
It's true.
And I remember when Lorena Bobbitt cut her husband's thing off. Do you know that after that happened, there were idiots in this country going out and cutting their own penises off because they just read about it in the news and it sounded really weird and they thought they'd try it? I would read about guys like in Alabama taking a skill saw to themselves. So now, if there's people that absolutely, empty of life, then anything, absolutely anything you say is going to be inspiration for. So... what we were satirizing there was the whole reality TV pitch.
Yeah.
The need for money and advertising. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the reason I got so emotional is because I went to Oklahoma City with the church trip and we saw.
Whoa.
And it was just like, just being there. And then some guy had a seizure in the middle of the road and he collapsed in the road and my mom had to help him. It just made it so emotional. And then I thought, I still don't think he deserves that because. Yeah.
Oh, that's okay. I didn't know that. I guess I should have called you first and said, Jolie, don't call the show because, that's heavy that you saw that. So I can certainly dig that it would have that effect on you. All right, but we're happy that you're feeling better.
Yeah, I'm really relieved. sometimes things shock me because,
And that whole
feel so
exorcist
safe.
that can't happen either.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, okay.
I was like, what are you thinking? I was like,
Getting
this
the
guy is insane.
Yeah. Okay, Jolie, well, thank you. Is your dad still mad?
No, he's laughing about it.
Okay.
But I have a quick question.
Yeah,
Is
go
there
ahead.
any way I could get a tape of that? Because I want to hear how
Yeah, you want to hear how emotional you were? Sure,
Well,
okay.
I would have, I don't know.
Mike, can we get a tape of the call Jolie was on? Sure. You may not want to hear it.
I do.
Your voice was quivering. It was cracking,
I do. I didn't mean to do that.
No, that's fine.
I just had been on hold so long, and I started thinking about it, and it was like, my God.
Blowing you away, yeah.
Horrid.
Well, the high emotion is what compels people to listen, so you're a good part of our show today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you very much. All right, now hold on. Mike is going to get your name and address and everything. And we'll,
Okay.
Thanks, Jolie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Henry the Slob. But all's well that ends well. And people, and the interesting thing is this. This is the Phil Hendrie Show, by the way, taking full credit for what we do on this radio show. And the interesting thing is I've got a lot of hardcore fans who've been with me for a lot of years. And they say, why do you give it up? Why do you cop to doing the voices? Why do you do that, Phil? Hey, man, I ain't doing the show for you. You guys are so hardcore, I could sit here and break wind for an hour. We could sit here and belch for a solid hour. You'd still be listening. Thank God for you, but you would. It's about time that this radio show started taking credit for what it accomplishes, for the rewriting of radio history that it does each and every day. It's about time we start taking credit for it, and we're going to start taking credit. Because I'm tired of listening to some of these weak-ass radio shows out there, especially some of these cats I'm up against in the afternoon here in Los Angeles. Comb Over Boy, oh my God. I mean, I could go on forever. You know that I could. But the point being that what we do here is so unique and so original that we're going to start taking credit for what we do. We're going to start signing our name to the painting around here a little bit more often. And you want to know something? If the whole freaking wide world figures it out, good. I could care less. Because what we need right now is we need some what we call TSL, baby, time spent listening. And when people figure out that it's Phil Hendrie doing this show, one and all, that it's a one-man band here, the time spent listening on this show goes up 12-fold. That means somebody who listens for 15 minutes listens for, what's 12 times 15, Craig? They would be listening for, stand by, Craig's figuring it out, 4 days. 4 full days. Thank you, Craig. And so, that's what we're going to do, and that's just the way it is. And for anybody who wants this radio show, and I don't want to be paranoid. I know there are many people who love us and support us, and I can dig it, and we certainly are thankful for you. And I meet you guys when I do a personal appearance. It's a gas, And when that New York Times piece comes out, when it comes out, but there are some people in the industry who would just like to see us go away because like I said, we raise the bar. And we make it more difficult for other people to do their shows. You can't get away with sitting in the chair and saying, it's 25 minutes after the hour, I'm Irving Farquhar, and in the news is a blah, 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 blah. And what do you think about that? I think it's a bunch of bull crap. And hit a bunch of drop carts and play some goofy comedy bits and, and have a little sound effect. Hi, Eddie, first-time caller. And have a cork popping sound like they're a virgin and you just plugged them. And, all that stuff from the 60s. And, we don't do that, man. So that's bugging them, and they'd like to see us just rot and wilt on the vine. Well, maybe we will, maybe we won't. But guess what? I'm going to be the decider of that, baby. Not anybody else. And that comb-over, he wetting himself last weekend thinking we weren't even going to be around on Monday. Boy, did that crack me up. Oh, man. That freaking guy's like a pincushion, dude. You just push a button on that guy and he jumps. All right, enough about that. Did you get Jolie's address? Did you get her phone number? I'm going to call her after the show. And 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show here. I had a couple of things I wanted to say. There's a really cool thing that is